Welcome, everybody, to this morning edition. If you think you know what time we're going to go live, think again, my friend.
Dude, welcome to the world of the hospitality industry. I swear to God.
Yeah, so while we're all bitching and moaning for emergency frontline workers and teachers, we need to bitch and moan for the poor hotel workers.
I'm telling you, hospitality sucks.
Yeah, they have to deal with these a-holes every day. So this is episode 127, December 13th.
10 a.m. edition.
10 a.m. Bill's just drank his coffee. He's good to go. I didn't have no coffee this morning. I had my Diet Coke. So,
you're hit or miss with that, huh? Is it like?
Well, I got a thing like Monday through Friday. I have a
you're like
schedule.
a true like working man.
Yeah, I have a cup in the morning before I leave for work.
Wow, man.
Michelle steals a drink of mine.
Randy must be so proud. Like he's turned you into like a full-fledged office worker.
Remind me to go home and swallow a bullet. That's terrible. So we're going to talk about some football from last night. We got a last-minute taste test. And Mulan, I don't know if you saw it. Did you end up watching?
I caught some of it from what Heather was watching. I got to tell you, little preview. Reminds me of a lot of Asian cinema movies that I loved back in the day. I'll tell you that, man. That's why people didn't like it, I think.
Yeah, well, that's why I didn't like it. So many different things.
Dare you.
But first up, Charles, what are you wearing exactly today?
Yeah, so Steve, let me see if I can get my shot here. Brought us the talking real estate swag from Steve.
None of the Mr. Bergeron, Scott Bergeron.
Yeah, and we were talking pre-show. We're looking at these little caricatures that are on here, if you can see them, folks.
Yeah.
I don't know which one's supposed to be Bergeron.
I think they're both Don. Don's his partner. I think there's two Dons, no Scott on there, because they don't look like Scott whatsoever.
Check him out. He's always live all the time. He's a friend of the show.
Can't miss him. Wednesdays at 7 is talking real
tell him
estate.
something good any other day of the week. And donate to his charity, as I heard he suckered you to it.
So two chumps donated to his charity.
BB's head just hung low.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is that time of year.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
Yeah, it's Christmas. Everyone donates to something this time.
It's either that or the homeless guy in the corner of Van Born Telegraph.
Dude,
and
speaking of which, he followed me to the Taco Bell drive-thru.
What?
You know the dudes that are, the little old black guy with the little bowler hat?
Yeah.
I know you know what I'm talking about.
He's always up there.
He was at the drive-thru at Taco Bell, hitting up cars on the drive-thru. I didn't even make eye contact.
You just roll the window up and don't look straight forward. Don't look right or left. Oh, so that's sad.
Everybody needs an additional tax break.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. BB's got them claims. Can I get a receipt for this?
Scott's trying to reach.
BB got that receipt. BB knew what was up, dude.
They're trying to reach, I think, 30 grand. They said they're at 20. So
are they really? Congratulations! Wow, good job. So
Mimi's something. I forget what it is.
Find him on Facebook. Go through the Talking Real Estate.
Mimi's Mission. Is it for autistic kids, Bill? Do you know?
I think I just read a little bit of it. I think it's to give kind of special needs kids opportunities to do certain things.
Yeah,
kind of things.
That's nice. It's good that he's giving back to his own community, though. It's good.
I can say though, oddly enough, that this is when you're talking about his goal. My actual donation was the one that hit the 20,000.
Oh man, did you get some kind of like certificate, BB? Like
no, I just happened to notice that it was.
He'll put you on the video and he'll text you.
Oh no, yeah, he did already.
Yeah,
the funny part though is he mentioned some people like a friend of the show, whatever, blah, and he was like William Lockhart. Like he had no idea who I was. Okay, all right, buddy.
He's looking to figure out
So that's funny.
Yeah.
So there you go, a little charity. For
make sure you find him on Facebook and donate. I'm just breaking his balls.
Yeah, the Bergeron team. Again, talking real estate. On Wednesday. Charles will do every podcast now in that T-shirt.
Yeah, dude, got to
falls apart.
Which is probably not going to be long.
He came over and gave it to me. I was like, "What am I going to do with this?" I'll give it to Charles. All right, so now let's talk a little football this week. What didn't get canceled and what did get canceled. But first up, we had a Tuesday night game this past week. Wasn't an exciting game. Did you watch the game, Charles?
No, I'm struggling with this. We talked about my squad played randomly on a Wednesday one week, missed it. I am struggling. If you think that the schedule's tough for this show, the schedule is really tough for the NFL. I don't know what time shit's on. I'm confused.
And I don't know if you've caught it, but a lot on the radio and TV now, they're really promoting the MGM Sportsbook.
Yeah, I saw Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, they got Jamie Foxx to do the talking for it. Also, the FanDuel Sportsbook for Michigan, they're doing a lot on 97.1 where you get you right now, if you sign up, you get like $100 free in your account and all
That's
this
what
crap.
BB, is that what you did? You got like a opening bonus or something?
Well, yeah, it was a bonus promotion. For me, it was you could make a one. It was like a plus 1,000. So you put like I think it was like a $10 one. I can't remember if it was $1 or $10. Basically, it was during one of the Sunday night games with the Cowboys, and it was basically if Amari Cooper got more than 0.5 receptions, you got $100.
Oh wow, yeah.
So that was
Basically a free
they
hundo.
They do a lot of these promotions, like every week. Like this week on the because I use the DraftKings site for the stuff that I do for the show here, and that's where I put that one bonus I was just talking about. They've got a bonus where it's like a 50% bonus on a win. So they take whatever your odds are, they pump up what you'd win by 50%, and then any bet up to like $25 will give you that boost.
Yeah.
They have them every week. All kinds of. They're really pushing. Trying to get everybody hooked on sports gambling.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
It's
especially
really
here in
crazy.
Michigan.
It's funny because like it came so late to this country, and now it's like full Europe. Like everything, I got plus and minuses on everything. It's really crazy. It's kind of cool, but from a degenerate who loves some sports, it's not a good thing. And also, if you follow the show, BV's Chronicle, just how hard it is.
It is fucking hard. So I'm gonna go next year. I know it's starting this year, but I want to go week to week next year because I don't really bet the hockey or basketball.
Yeah, but you do like BV did this year. You put the 100 down, and we'll all just see how we end up at the end of the year. We
Yeah.
could all do that as a challenge. That sounds fun.
I think we should all go in on the tournament, the NCAA tournament.
I don't know shit about that.
No one does. Just pick some games. But anyways, so Tuesday night game. We're talking about the sports book because the Tuesday night game sucked. Ravens just dominated them. I think they just ran for some more yards right now.
The Cowboys, unless playing Pittsburgh, just can't do it.
Yeah, Cowboys. I don't know. Mike McCarthy has lost it. I don't know what the hell. I thought they'd get better throughout the year. And their quarterback got hurt, and Bill's pick for the Super Bowl. We'll throw that reminder out there.
Thank you.
I can't talk too much shit.
Yeah, well, none of us can really. But so there you go. Ravens 34, Cowboys 17. That was the Tuesday game.
Did you guys watch it both? Did you?
I watched it in the background. Yeah, it was on.
Yeah, I watched it.
Then the Thursday night game rolled around, and this was New England versus the Rams. Now, a lot of people thought New England was going to put up a fight because they just stomped the Chargers. No. 24-3. This wasn't a close
the
game.
symbiotic relationships.
Charles and his clownfish.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on this game? Either one of you watching this?
I tell you what, like Pat McAfee, the crap out of them Patriots, they're dead. Dude, I'm telling you, they're dead. They need a quarterback bad. Cam Newton, as BB calls him, scam is not the answer. Belichick's all the brilliance in the world can't fix the lack of talent, I think is what it's boiling down to.
I don't know. Did you see that one? They got right at the goal line and they ran 2 QB draws in a row.
Yeah, but you got Cam Newton, who's huge.
They got stuffed 3 times from inside the 1.
Yeah, it's like you don't run to the outside or a play action.
I don't know. They probably think Cam
roll
Newton's
him out. Try scrambling.
I think Cam Newton's like our height though. He's like a 6'2", 6'3"
Yeah,
dude.
but you go right in the
He's
middle.
like 6'6",
6'6", yeah.
Yeah, but you go right in the middle of Aaron Donald. That guy's kind of good.
No argument here, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's a reach to say Cam Newton just fall forward.
But he was in shotgun when they were doing it.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I was surprised because I had to work late, so I turned this game on. It was like already midway through the second quarter. I wasn't expecting to turn it on and see the Rams already up 17-0. And then I saw the where they got stuffed inside the 1 there, and then they talked about how the Patriots 3 times they finally kicked a field goal after that, and then they said the Patriots are already 3 times inside the 20, and they only have 3 points to show for it. But actually, they were 3 times inside the 20, and the Rams outscored them because they were inside the red zone when Scam threw that screen pass. It got picked for like an 80-something yard pick six.
I saw that too. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the rest of the game was kind of uneventful because it wasn't. It was just another. The field goal, and then the Rams scored a touchdown in the second half. But it was.
Are they benching him? What are they doing? Like, what is?
They did bench him in the game.
Yeah, they benched him, but for
the
the
guy
game, but not
behind
for
him
the-
is worse. He's standing there. He just stood there, got sacked.
Yeah, wow.
So I
I'm
don't
just
know.
saying, man.
They're kind of screwed right now.
Gotta go find his clownfish.
Yeah, so that's the Tuesday and the Thursday night game. This week is normal. We just got Monday night and Thursday. There's no Tuesdays or Wednesdays.
Oh, thank God. Let me write that down.
Not right now, anyways. So we got a normal week. Now,
We got a good week, it looks like.
Yeah,
let's talk
hopefully.
about that. Yeah.
And now we had some breaking news when I did the notes, and the breaking news was The Michigan Wolverines said, we got COVID, we're not going to play. And allegedly there was a lot of them that had COVID. And they were trying to screw Ohio State, essentially.
He just chuckled.
Yeah. And then later in the week, it came out that Michigan didn't really have that many COVID cases. Coincidentally, it was more staff that had it.
And they're double screwing Ohio State with this decision. They're double screwing because Ohio State's going to have no games played to talk about national title.
Yeah,
hopes.
well, the Big Ten's letting them in the Big Ten championship. I don't know if
They're
you heard
still
that.
going to be eligible for the playoff.
Yeah.
Yes,
As long as they beat Northwestern next week, they'll probably still be in at the probably number 4.
Which is kind of bullshit because they only played 6 games compared to
well,
everyone
they're
else.
also pushing for USC, talking about all that too. So
Well,
we'll
after
see.
that game yesterday, I don't think they're that hot on USC.
Yeah, well, I'm just
they were
saying.
losing most of that game to UCLA. But so that game was canceled. Of course, Texas A&M and them boys got postponed yesterday. A couple other minor games. I think Texas and Kansas. Even though Kansas is like 0-9, so it doesn't really that game really matter.
Speaking of Texas A&M, did you see that? What is it? Arizona fired Kevin Sumlin, the old coach from Texas A&M that went over to Arizona. Yeah, they shit canned him.
I was talking to Bill earlier in the week. Friday night, I was just flipping around as I was playing video games, and the Arizona game came on. And
They
the
got
fighting
trounced.
Yeah,
right?
it was 41-0 at the
Yeah.
end. It ended up 70-something to like 7.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, if he was the coach, they should have fired him immediately.
And he's got an awful record there too.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta
don't know
tell
it is
you
with
what, the
Arizona.
Fighting Herms are good. Don't sleep
Well,
on
they were
that.
0-2 going into that.
But I'm
game.
just saying, like, I like what he does with that program. I
Yeah,
do.
well, Arizona's a trainer. They had Rich Rodriguez for a while. Then it comes. I don't know. Arizona just can't buy
But
a
it's
win.
not hooping. I mean, what are we talking about? Like,
that's
you know,
true.
every once in a while, it's like when Kentucky's good and bad, or football. You're like, what are we talking about? Like,
Yeah,
what are we
that's
talking
true.
about? Just-
Desert's Swarm was like 25 years ago.
Yeah, when they were good.
I'm
They had a
just
really
saying.
good defense, and yeah,
Yeah, I
was a
remember
long time ago.
that. They were pretty decent that year. So Ohio State, Michigan tried to screw them, but it looks like Ohio State's still going to get into the playoffs and still going to get everything they want. And Texas A&M got postponed. Now let's recap yesterday. Now most of the games were kind of garbage, and Bill's got the one.
I
up.
struggled, man.
Yeah.
I struggled to find a decent game.
Yeah, I mean,
bad.
when we have to tune into Army Navy, and
Yeah.
Army wins 15-0.
Dude, I know. What was
But
that?
those Navy uniforms are kind of weird with the lightning on them and stuff.
I didn't even
You
tune
didn't see
in.
They
it?
do
I
something
hate
different like
the-
that every year.
I hate I know BV's apparently a big guy into the Army Navy. The Army Navy game is atrocious.
Well, I didn't
every
watch
year.
it. It was just
I do love it. I watch it every year.
It makes no
over
sense.
other games you would watch.
Well,
it?
it's usually on a weekend where it's in
Well, it's
between.
usually the only game. It's
Yeah.
usually
Well, if
usually
it's
it's
the
the
only
week
game, sure.
between the regular season and the conference championship games. It's usually the same night as the Heisman.
Yeah, it's literally like the Army Navy like all-star game that's in between a Pro Bowl.
Well, Navy had like these
I love
lightning,
watching
like
every-
a lightning storm on their helmet. It looked kind of cool. And Army actually looked like they had like the.
Does Navy
the
still got
fatigue
that
colors.
Hawaiian dude coaching them up and everything like that?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're really
They've
hyped
had
on
the
him
same
for
coach
a while.
for a long time. Yeah. Well, Army was 7-2 going in. Now they're 8-2.
yeah?
I had no idea. I don't know who the hell they play, but
What are they, Conference USA? What are they
yeah, I don't
playing?
know who they're
I
playing.
think so.
Well, that's not even the game I put the fucking numbers up before. We're talking about that one. Well, North Carolina rebounded after losing to Notre Dame. They dropped 62 on the University of Miami.
And I was watching that game here and there.
Yeah.
And boy, Miami's just.
I just never liked Miami. Even Jimmy Johnson was coaching. I just don't like.
I like kind of thug nasty.
I don't
Miami.
like the
I don't
Thug
know.
Nasty Miami, and I kind of enjoyed watching 62
Satin
to
jacket
26.
Miami. I like satin jacket
no,
Miami.
Never been a fan of Miami. Screw
I'm
off.
a little surprised being a Notre Dame fan that you would have any love for the U.
I just like how kind of dirty they are. I don't know how else to
they are
explain
dirty.
it.
They are crooked.
Brutal
They just
rivalry
remind me
back
of
then.
like in Neon Dion didn't even go there, but that era, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I just like it. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Iowa beat up on Wisconsin 7-28. This game was 7-0 in half, and there was like a total of like 80 yards between both teams. That's how bad this game was.
How many? The real question is, how many players were out for Wisconsin? Are they
I
still
don't
dealing
know.
with COVID in Wisconsin?
I don't know, but they should be done now. Iowa's moving up, but that pretty much clinched Northwestern as the Western champ of the Big Ten, I guess. This Utah-Colorado game was interesting because Colorado was favored by 7. I only know this because Bert was betting on it, and he was talking big about this game. I go, who the hell knows about Colorado? And Colorado was 4-0 going into this game, where Utah was 2-3 or something along that lines. And then we looked up their schedule. Colorado's played nobody. I go, I think Utah's going to win. No, man, I'm taking all Colorado. Well, Utah wins 38-21. I thought it was funny.
It was in the snow, which was when they kept
Yeah.
showing the highlights. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, a lot of snow up there. So Colorado got put back in its place. And then the other one big in the Pac-12 that almost ended up in an upset, USC pulls it out 43-38 over UCLA. UCLA was winning most of this game. They kept showing highlights, and USC came from behind.
What channel was it on? Did you peep it at all?
I don't remember what channel. It wasn't Fox. It might have been on Channel 7, actually.
I think it was ABC.
Yeah, it went on ABC. So
Yeah, because Fox is loving a lot of Pac-12
yeah,
stuff.
Fox had the Utah-Colorado.
A lot of stuff. And they were supposed to have the Cal game at some point, but it must have gotten postponed or something like that. The Cal Washington State.
Yep. That one was.
I was just looking for a competitive game at like the mid-afternoon. There's nothing competitive.
Yeah. Well, the only game that ended up being worth watching last night was LSU and Florida.
I watched a handful of that. Yeah.
LSU, I guess, started a bunch of younger players. That's what they went to. They like their freshmen and
They
sophomores.
just brought them out.
They're
Huh?
like, screw it, might as well get some experience. And it worked for them. They won 37-34 over Florida, which pretty much eliminates any playoff hopes for Florida, right? I mean,
Yeah.
even if they
still
beat Bama in the
they're still in the
championship
SEC
game.
championship game, but yeah, they won't make the playoff either way.
Yeah, they're done. So
Did you guys? By the way, did you guys watch the end of this game at all?
no, I fell asleep. I know the fog set in.
Past
So
my
no,
break.
so there was this heavy fog. So they had like the only camera they could show was from behind the offensive line. So you're seeing like and it's a lower
That's
camera.
creepy.
Well, so they're tied with like a little bit under 2 minutes to go. LSU has the ball and they get stopped on third down. So it would have been like 4th and 6. I think where they were going to have to punt. The dude makes a tackle from Florida, this DB, and as he makes a tackle, the receiver's shoe comes off into his hand. He chucks it about 30 yards in the air and gets a personal foul penalty.
And that caused a first down or
A
something.
sportsman like, yeah, LSU can, proceeds to go up and kick a 57-yard field goal to take the lead. And then Florida did get the ball back, and, with the college first down clock stop rule, they actually got the ball down and had a field goal chance. It was a long one at the end of the game and missed it to tie. But just complete stupidity.
Wow.
They probably should have won the game.
It's crazy.
But screw Florida, so.
Yeah, no one likes the Gators anyways. Even when Tebow was there, I didn't like the Gators. Screw off. But
It's college Jesus. How dare you?
I don't care. So there's a little look at the college. Nothing exciting. Michigan State lost to Penn State. I know that much. But in Minnesota beat Nebraska. So
I'm with you.
Are we over Scott Frost at this point in Nebraska? I mean, he's not the savior of Nebraska. What were you saying?
I think we've talked about week in, week out. These have been some rough games. I'm struggling this season. I don't know what to do. It's not like I can watch TV. I've played more video games in the past month.
Really have.
I mean, it's just crazy. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Well, good news, folks. That's a good segue to today's NFL preview because we're here in
This
the
looks great.
wee hours of the morning and we got time
Yeah.
to talk about the NFL. So now college was lackluster. Charles has nothing to watch, but maybe we got some football to watch. Of course, for us, it's going to be preempted by the Lions versus Green Bay at 4
That's
o'clock.
the only. Oh, that's a 4 o'clock game.
I think
today?
it is. Yeah.
Okay.
I could
Yeah,
be
it
wrong.
is.
Yeah.
It's 4 o'clock.
So we better hope one of these good games are on at 1 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, we get the 8 o'clock game is Steelers Buffalo.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
which
so that's gonna
I
be
only
great.
make it to halftime before I fall asleep. 'Cause I
I'll
be
do
up
it.
at
I
5
think I think that's the best game of the week.
God damn it.
It's gonna be great.
So I
You're
still
gonna
have-
fall asleep. So you're getting old. You're getting like me.
Wow, you're getting up at that 5 a.m.
Yeah,
is killing
dude,
me.
it's crazy.
But the first game up is Chiefs versus Dolphins. Now, we know the Chiefs will probably handle them, but it's an interesting game nonetheless.
They say the Dolphins have won 7-1 in the last 8 or something crazy, some crazy stat like that.
Yeah, and the Dolphins have been playing well. Does anyone think anyone going to go out on a limb and take the Dolphins? No, nobody.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, if you if you were to take a look at the notes, you'll see that I'm clearly not taking the Dolphins.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
it's compelling. I'll tell you that. Like, I'm interested to watch. I'm also, because the way that my squad keep getting shit on by Kansas City, I'm hoping to see. Kansas City's just playing for playoff jockeying at this point. They secured a playoff spot. My squad can. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, there's only one first week bye this year. The way they're doing the setup, so they're definitely playing for something.
Yeah.
Next up, I don't know these two teams. I kind of like both of these teams this year. Colts versus Raiders, except for I hate.
Who do you hate?
I hate Phillip Rivers.
You love
they
Phillip
would
Rivers.
just start the backup.
The best is whenever you
all
go
in on the
against him,
Colts.
and then Phillip Rivers has a game of his life. Whenever you go against him, he knows you hate him.
No, he's such a son of a bitch. Hate that guy,
dude. He's your Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton. God damn him. But I like the Raiders in this one just because of Phillip Rivers. I like
take the Colts,
run
baby.
the ball
Take
solid.
the Colts.
They play solid defense. I like everything about the
Just
Colts.
stop talking.
Except for that.
I got to get on the sports book.
Oh,
so
I
can
hate that
hammer.
guy. I'm taking Chucky and the Raiders.
Well, Jacobs might not play again, and the Raiders have just looked really rough the last few weeks. I was like, they're kind of taking a bit of a downward spiral. I like the Colts. I didn't like it enough to give points, but I do like the Colts in the game.
Just because, like you said, I think that a lot of the shine has fallen off that Raiders. But I've talked about it weeks. I think that he's doing something good over there, and it's worth noticing that something about that Raiders team is really pretty good, but they're having some struggles as of late.
They're a few players away from being really a contender to get out of the AFC.
I really agree.
And they did beat the Chiefs once already. And Chiefs were full. Not like Chiefs had.
There was no
injuries.
gimping on either side.
So that was pretty good. All right, and then the next one, the one might be implications between Bill and Charles' squad. Steelers versus Bills.
It's flex scheduled this into the 8:00 game.
8:00 game, so you're going to get stuck with Chris Collinsworth.
Want to know if chicks are into football?
Yeah,
the idiot put his foot in his mouth, didn't he? Dumbass.
So Big Ben, and then a younger version of Big Ben, Josh Allen.
Big Ben had way more success younger.
Well, Josh Allen's more mobile than Big Ben ever was. But like this game, this should be a good one. Thoughts on this one, Charles?
I'll tell you this. I didn't know. So they're talking about the crazy stats that the receivers are having at Pittsburgh too. So not only is Pittsburgh, and again, coming off the loss, but I'm saying really good defense this year, top in the league, and then now it seems like their receiver stats are insane too. I was watching something like they've got some of the most touchdowns of any receiver core in the league and stuff. So I'm really excited for my team this year. I don't know what happened on that Washington game, but I talked about it a few weeks ago. I want to see a loss just to get that 72 Dolphin shit out of my life. I hate that when my team is deep in the season with undefeated. It just gets super annoying. So I'm super excited. You're going to see a lot of what it is, but Pittsburgh plays down to competition a lot. Obviously, with the loss against Washington, the issues with the Dallas game. I mean, there's some problems, but I'm so stoked to watch it.
Bill, your thoughts on the game?
Well, I would have liked to have their first loss be this week instead of last week. But actually, considering the fact that he's seems to be held up by pins and rods and stuff at this point. The rapist, Ben Roethlisberger, having a really good year. The thing with the Steelers, though, is we're talking about all the stats for the wide receivers. Dude, I do tend to watch a lot of those games when they, I focus on the Steelers games a lot because they tend to be
on TV a lot too.
Well, no, and I mean with Sunday Ticket and stuff, I just, I'll go focus. That's one of the teams I pay attention to a lot. Those receivers drop the shit out of balls, though. I mean, that
shows you how many attempts he's having too.
Yeah, that Washington game, I think Connor did come back last week, but he was out for a week or two, and Roethlisberger was throwing the ball like crazy, but they were dropping it too, and I think that had a lot to do with why they lost the game. I think that this might be one of those games where the way things are kind of heading in for each team in direction that my squad might be able to pull off the win.
Not going to happen.
But before we go crazy into
some fits.
Before we go crazy into some into some argument between me and Charles, I'm going to freely preface this by saying that were the Bills to draw the Steelers in the second round of the playoffs in frickin' Heinz Field, not a chance in hell my squad's getting run. Okay, it's happening. They no chance. That's what they've got. Done.
But you don't think my big push for today is going to be that defense is going to give Josh Allen looks shaky at times. Everyone was talking all that MVP talk, and then when you start punching him in the mouth and getting him scrambling, as Steve would say, he gets kooky and he starts throwing bad balls. Yeah, well, so that defense is going to give him problems today.
That very well could happen. My concern isn't so much with him scrambling because I see him. I do watch all the Bills games, so he's done a good job throwing the ball, on the run or whatnot. My problem is that he tends to be careless with it and he fumbles a lot. Yeah. He'll take off running, someone come up from behind. And
loaf of bread it, dude. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, some of his playground fucking stuff.
Yeah, he does, and he ends up he coughs the ball up running the ball a lot, and so I would hope he kind of. If he does start scrambling around, I hope he just gets rid of it.
Try not scrambling.
Secure the rock if you're going to do it.
Scramble just long enough to throw the ball away.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, let's put it this way. I wouldn't put money on the Bills today, but I do think that there's a chance they win the game.
You know what I want? A good game. That's what I want.
We're also overlooking the Bills' defense. Isn't there one of their defense they're really top in the league too, isn't it?
Well, their weakness has been the run.
Oh.
But the Steelers haven't exactly been running the ball. I mean, they've turned into Duck and Chuck,
Duck and Chuck,
Northeast lately. So,
and then finally the other game Monday night. We're just going to stay in the AFC North because it seems to be all the good teams there, except for the Bengals. Ravens versus Browns.
But then the Bengals can oddly show up a week or two. What the hell
well, Burrow died, so now they're screwed.
Yeah,
Ravens versus Browns. This should be an interesting one.
What are the Browns 9-3? I've seen. I was like, Jesus Christ, screw you, Baker.
But it's not because of him. It's because they've been running the shit out of it with Chubb and the other guy. So like this should be a battle of the ground game. This might be a quick game. This might be only a 2-hour game.
That clock ain't stopping.
Nobody's passing in this game. Any thoughts on this one, Bill?
Well, I love the fact or the possibility that the Ravens don't make the playoffs because I used to love the Ravens because I was a big Ray Lewis fan, but I don't like this Raven team at all. But I still don't buy the Browns as a legit playoff. I mean, they're going to make the playoffs.
Who are they beating? BB, look up who are their 9 wins against? I'm just curious. Like who
just beat someone last? They beat the Titans.
They just beat Tennessee.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
in fact, they ran them pretty rough.
I was going to say it was a pretty big ass whooping too. But like Steve says, you get that.
It wasn't an ass whooping. It was by one touchdown. Up yours, asshole. I like that backhanded passive insult.
But weren't they ahead pretty?
It's 41-35. Shut up, both of you.
Okay, so they have beaten. Well, the first game of the season, the Ravens kicked the living crap out of them, 38-6. But they've beaten the Bengals twice. They beat Washington. They beat Dallas.
Yeah,
they beat Colts.
I think we're just
Steelers beat them 38-7.
The question is, what Phillip Rivers was that?
They got the back.
They beat Houston. They beat your pick for the Super Bowl, the Eagles.
Yeah.
They beat the Jaguars by 2. And
you might call that a pretty hollow 9 wins. I think we're discovering.
Except for Colts and Titans.
I like the Ravens to win that game.
Yeah, we'll see. And if their record's any indication, you would assume that that's the case.
All right, so there we go. A little look at the NFL. A little look at Michigan being cowards. Ohio State getting cheese. And it's all good.
How soon until we see the separation of the University of Michigan from Harbaugh? Do you guys think it's coming quick? What do you guys think?
I don't think it might not be coming at all. They're saying they might re-sign him for less money for the next 3 years.
God.
Do you think he's willing to take less loot? Do you think that's...
I don't know.
I mean, he should.
I keep hearing
there's going to be a lot of openings in the NFL.
No, the reports are no one in the NFL wants his ass.
Oh, wow.
That's why he's going to probably resign.
Oh, man, he's going to eat a little crow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I guess we'll find out probably the next month or two.
So what does that say about University of Michigan, though? If the idea is, we're okay with this as long as we don't have to pay out. I mean, so is that sort of accepting their fate as essentially a Big Ten also ran?
I guess. I don't know.
That's exactly what they've been.
So what I'm asking BV then, register an opinion. How does this go? No one will hold you to it. It's not your Super Bowl pick, but how do you think it goes?
I think the way it should go is, was this their last game, Ohio State?
Well, they're claiming, this is weird on the news, that they may pull out another game on December 19th.
Okay.
I don't know who
what
it's going
should
to be.
happen. Is
hopefully it's Appalachian State.
What do you got, BB? Give me BV's prediction.
Okay. I think he should be let go literally by the Monday after their final game. I think what probably will happen is it'll be more like a week or two after they'll kind of talk through, and I think eventually they'll make the move.
And it'll be a mutual
but I do
parting
think
of the
he'll be gone.
ways. Yeah, you think he's gone. Steve, what is
I
your
think they
opinion?
re-sign him for 3 years for less money.
You think so? Because he's what, $7 million or something shit, like crazy
so
shit like that?
All from $5 million a year for 3 years. That's probably what's going to happen.
Is that worth? Is this worth $5 million a year?
Ooh.
No, it's not worth $5 million, but that's what they're going to offer him.
Did they pay Brady Hoke that much? I mean,
I don't know.
Brady Hook's still looking for a headset.
Clapping his hands.
It's like, dude, are you in the game? What are you doing? What game are you watching?
What do you think they're going to do?
I think they're going to bounce him. They have to. You're Michigan. You got this weird superiority complex where, and Paul Feinbaum hits him with all the, you're University of Michigan.
Paul Feinbaum hates them. They need to hire Paul Feinbaum.
Dude, I'm telling you. I think you have to save face and you have to cut. You got to cut him, is my opinion.
Logically, that makes sense, but this is the weird world of the Wolverines.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
So, what is your opinion? What you think they're gonna? You think they're
I just
gonna?
told you
keep-
what they're gonna
Whether
do.
you think you think that's what they should, and they'll do it. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think they should. They should cut him and start from scratch.
Yeah.
But a lot, even like diehard slappies like Gabriel, like, who's going to get this better? So might as well just
What's up with old boy from Indiana? You want to come over here, bro? What's
Yeah,
going on?
I
Someone's
don't
got to
know.
poach that Indiana head coach. They had
Yeah.
way too good of a year.
Yeah, so I don't know.
That's crazy.
I think they stick with him.
All right.
Which is what I hope, because then they'll suck for another 3 years.
Steve just sits there going, you guys suck still.
well, look, ask you this, Steve: if they do keep him and re-sign him for another 3 years, does he make the whole 3 years?
Probably not.
Oh, you think he washes out, huh?
Yeah. Wow. Then Michigan looks good because he just washed out. He's like, I'm a part ways.
This isn't working.
I'm gonna go coach the Jets.
coach the Jets.
So no, he probably won't make the 3 years. No, but and I guarantee, even if they resign him, they're shit canning his whole staff.
Oh, yeah?
Especially that defensive coordinator. That guy's been under fire since he's been Don Brown guy. If I had to hear about Don Brown one more time on the radio, my head's going to explode. So that's probably what we have. Now pull out the little taste treat, Charles.
Yeah, so let's get this going here.
Bill didn't get this because
Steve at the last minute. I'm going to put it on my cam here. We got a peanut brownie Snickers. Steve randomly picked this up. I hadn't seen this.
Yeah,
I know Steve
they're
did.
at 7-Eleven on the counter for $1.50.
Yeah.
You get
You
two
got
little
the
brownies.
main there, yeah.
Two little brownie things inside here. I don't know how fresh or good these are going to be.
I don't know.
They're little squares. Like Bill said, they remind me of the peanut butter Snickers, the little square peanut butter Snicker things. Yeah.
Tastes like a Snickers. I don't think it tastes anything different. Peanut brownie Snickers. Tastes like a Snickers.
Tastes identical to Snickers.
I wouldn't know. You blindfolded me. This wasn't a Snicker bar.
ASMR.
No. Get them lips chomping on them. I gotta tell you, get a regular Snicker bar, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I like a Snicker. I mean,
I can just say, if you're not a big fan of nougat and you want brownie flavor instead, but then it still tastes like nougat anyway. Yeah. I don't know why you.
What do you go? I got you on the ISO here. What do you think you're gonna do? What do you think?
If I got a choice between this or a regular Snickers, probably go with the regular Snickers. No, forget that. I'm going with a Snickers ice cream bar because that's the tastiest thing on the planet. The Snickers ice cream bar is the tastiest thing on the planet. Then a regular Snickers, then probably this.
I don't know. It just tastes like a peanut brownie. It tastes like a Snicker. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't taste any different than a regular Snickers.
And the regular Snicker's good.
And
so,
the peanut butter Snickers Bill was talking about does taste different.
Oh, it's got like a little creaminess.
Peanut
from the
butter squared.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Yeah,
like
those
those,
are really
BB?
good.
They're good. They're good.
That's more like a true peanut butter Snicker.
Oh yeah, this one really didn't. It just tastes like a Snicker. It's no. So BB, if you want to join in, just grab a Snicker bar and eat it because that's what we just ate.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing.
So going around the room, what is Steve's top 3 candy bar, whatever?
Oh, you don't get diabetes for not knowing this.
Yeah, you got top 3. Go for it.
I have a
What do
3,
you-
number 3 right now currently that I've been sneaking.
No,
here
no,
and
I'm
there.
talking about all time. We
Well,
throw you on a
this is all
desert
time.
island.
This is all time right now. It
you
went all
get
time.
cases.
It's current
of-
and it went all time.
Okay, what do you got?
Number 3 is the Hershey white chocolate almond candy bar.
Oh, really?
You gotta
An
get
old
the-
school Hershey bar.
It's white chocolate though.
I know,
You
I
gotta
love
get
white chocolate.
King size. because they put the full almonds in it.
You greedy bastard.
get regular
Is
size,
that how
like,
you
ground
claim
up.
it's good for your heart?
No, I just like full
It's got
almonds.
almonds in there.
I like a full almond. If you get the regular size, they grind up the almonds.
Oh.
So the king size has the full
Holy
almonds.
shit, that's a fat kid pro tip.
So you asked. I told you.
What
That
else you
is
got?
definitely number 3. Number 2. It's kind of a toss-up. I like old school. Well, we're just talking chocolate. Or we want to put because
I'm saying you get 3 candy bars on this desert island, fat
All right,
kid.
all right,
Stop making this more difficult than it is.
There's so many choices.
You get 3. I'll give you 3
Well, I'm gonna
things.
stick all chocolatey kind of things.
Yeah, that's what we're going
Number
for.
2 for
Yeah.
me is Baby Ruth.
A Baby Ruth?
I like old school Baby Ruth.
Wow, Baby Ruth cracking
Yes.
the top 3?
And then number 1, Wiggs one year bought me for Christmas a whole box of them, and I sadly ate all of them.
What?
Peanut Twix, peanut butter Twix.
Okay.
The old school
Peanut
one
butter-
though, with the
cookie,
white
yeah, the
candy
white
bar,
cookie,
or
yeah.
with the white cookie in
Yeah.
it, not that chocolate cookie thing. That throws it
Peanut
off.
butter Twix are delicious.
Honorable
I
mention,
would-
of course, is Reese Cup, but other
Reese's
than that,
Cup is on my top 3 easily.
Oh, man, that's
and
easy.
then, like you said, a peanut butter Twix has got to be right there.
Oh, peanut
and then
butter
I
Twix,
would
so
go
good.
with an old school Snicker.
Oh,
is
you're
where
a
I would go.
Snicker.
So I'm number 1 is a Reese's Cup. Oh, Reese's Cup is
I
just,
can't argue that. That's solid.
is
That's solid.
delicious. I don't know where you got a white chocolate almond thing to crack your top 3. Number 2 is going to be just a Snicker. And then, yeah, I also like a peanut. I like a peanut M&M. I might go with peanut M&M for 3, but nonetheless, I'm pretty old school and pretty traditional. Surprised a Chunky Bar didn't make your list.
Oh, Bert bought me two for Christmas.
You asshole. BB, what do you got in your diabetes? What do you got?
Well, I keep I keep it pretty traditional. Although my number 1 is probably not going to fall on anybody's radar. But
Uh-oh.
number
Charleston
3, I go with the traditional caramel Twix.
A caramel Twix?
He likes the caramel.
The
I like
peanut
the
butter
traditional
one is
peanut
so
butter.
I'm
much
a big caramel fan.
Yeah, a lot of people are.
2 is the white chocolate Kit Kat.
Ooh.
Ew, wow. That's a
Where do you
crazy.
get those at?
I love a Kit Kat, though. A Kit
Yeah.
Kat is good. That's a top
Where
10.
do you get a white chocolate one?
They're pretty prevalent.
They're all over
everywhere,
the place.
yeah.
Oh, man.
I've been out for a
I never
while.
pay attention.
Then my number 1, the whatchamacallit.
Oh, wow.
Asshole.
Who come up with that one?
First of all, we can't even get a case to put on there on the desert island because no one buys a whatchamacallit. A whatchamacallit?
I love me some
I
whatchamacallit.
can't deal with him
Bill's
right
always
now.
had a weird kid. Like he eats those mambas.
Those
Whatchamacallit?
those were tasty.
Bill
You can
always
still
had a
get
little-
mambas,
It's like the
though.
poor man's Starburst.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
get
Yeah,
some,
but why would you
bigger-
just eat
bigger
Starburst?
chunks
It's
of
so much
whatchamacallit.
better.
It's like a mix between a now and later and a Starburst. It's kind of in that vein. Wow.
That's kinda like my,
Whatchamacallit?
well,
What
I
the
mean, you got to consider we grew up in different environments, so
Yeah, oh yeah,
I
that's
guess
true.
so, but a whatchamacallit? Wow.
Yeah, not
Congratulations.
even a Mars bar. You went whatchamacallit.
What
I
the-
don't like Mars bars at all. No, don't get me wrong, because I honestly had forgotten about Reese's. If I had
Reese's Cup.
remembered
Oh,
Reese's,
my
I probably would have put them in at number 3 over the.
I'm gonna
caramel
need some
Twix,
kind of
but-
fridge on that desert island. Make them boys cold
Yeah,
too.
I like freezing them.
Yeah,
So
they're
you just eat
awesome.
the chocolate on
Reese's
the
Cup.
outside. Such a loser.
Something about the way they get that consistency of that peanut butter in
Yeah.
there. Oh my god.
Also, honorable mention. I love sweet tarts, so that's why I
Well,
was
we
asking
were kind
you.
of talking candy.
Yeah,
like
no, I
chocolatey.
mean, because I could eat a bucket of sweet
Now,
tarts.
for me, we've often talked about on the show. I take like regular candy over chocolate any day.
Yeah,
of the
you
week.
and Holly would be
Yeah, I
eating
love regular
gummy bear.
candy.
Holly loves gummy bears. She
Yeah.
loves the sweet and sour patch kids.
Airheads.
Airheads, yeah.
Skittles.
Skittles, yeah. That's all Holly stuff there. I don't know why we have diabetes. So, anyways, look at the peanut butter Snickers. It's okay. I wouldn't pay the extra money for it. I'd
Just
probably
buy a Snicker.
just get a regular Snickers. All right, now we looked at some movies. I looked at a show this week, and you did too. First up, we both watched it. Now, this came out back, and, well, it's a headless Mulan on Bill's picture there.
Yeah, weird. Picture.
Oh wow!
Yeah, she got her head chopped off. So we watched Mulan on Disney Plus. Now we didn't pay the extra $30.
No, we just waited.
Yeah, we just waited, watched it.
It was the Disney Plus Premium or whatever.
Yeah.
And they finally released it on their streaming service proper.
right. Now I'm going to tell you. Let me go first, and then you go because I think you're going to like it more.
Yeah.
I didn't hold it up to the animated show because I didn't care for the animated show either. So I just took it for what it was. Number one, I thought it was cast well. A lot of the people I recognized from different things, and a lot of people in it. Basically, if you had any kind of Asian descent and you worked in Hollywood, you were in this movie. So that was fine. I thought visually from
The
distances,
production value is amazing.
Yeah. Like I
That
love
Disney
this-
money came through hard.
I
on
love
that.
the looks of it. I thought it looked great.
They had to lose a ton of money on this movie.
Yeah. I just thought the story kind of lacked, and I felt, I don't know if they tried. There was some weird editing, right? So there's one part where there's the villains are up on the mountain shooting a catapult at them. She's down on the ground with a horse and grabs a couple helmets, and then it just flashes to her being behind them. It's like weird editing, like weird bad
very
editing.
Choppy.
Yeah, it was
and again, not whatever. I'm not trying to justify, but that's how those action movies, those Asian action movies, Hong Kong action movies happen. I think it's a budgetary thing too. I think that's how they skip through a lot.
I mean, you couldn't show 5 seconds of her just riding around.
Yeah, but it's a full fledged battlefield at that point. Like, how do it
cost money?
Yeah,
and then the other thing too, the invaders in the cartoon. I didn't want to compare it, but they were Mongolians, and for some reason they changed that in this. I don't know if you caught that. Invaders from the north, they were called Rogans or Rorans.
They probably didn't want to offend nationalities. We've learned that there's a lot of politics in making, especially international movies at this point.
I thought that was a little lame.
And they probably wanted to release it there to get some loot back.
And some of the humor that was supposed to be funny just came off really bad. Like that big CG spider comes down in that one scene with the matchmaker.
I saw
that whole scene was like, this is kind of bad. So none of that. The other thing I had a problem with is essentially to turn Mulan into a Jedi. So she has the chi in her, the Jedi. I was waiting
that's the mysticness.
I was waiting for to say midichlorians at one point. I swear
you'll see that in so many of these.
It
types
annoyed
of
me because the movie's supposed to be about this woman and how she overbecomes things. But the only reason she comes
overcomes
good,
gender.
Yeah, but the only reason she does is because her inner force takes over, and now she
was
can do
special.
everything.
Yeah, she wasn't just a female.
Yeah, she wasn't a strong female. She was only special because the midichlorians made her special. I didn't like that at all. So I give the movie a 5 out of 10. I was not very high on it. Now, Charles, you tell me what you thought.
So I can go down a laundry list of Curse of the Golden Flower, Musa. There's like 6 or 7 different Asian movies that movie had such ties to, and like the look and the visual styling of it. Even Jet Li playing the Emperor and everything.
That was Jet Li?
Yeah, he's old now. Yeah. So you start to I have such an affinity. Steve and BV know. I think that some of those movies are some of the most appreciated type of cinema in the world to me. I love those type of movies, and it just was that. And I was just like, oh, this is super good to me, and that's The one thing I'll tell you, and I was talking with Heather, I'd never seen the animated movie.
Which is probably best.
Well, it's such a departure. I can see why people. So someone like Lorna, you want like a traditional Disney type movie, and it wasn't. It was a Hong Kong action movie, is what it was.
Totally was.
So I can see where people got the rub of like, my issue is it's not a Disney movie. My issue is it's a Musa. It's a Curse of the Gold. You know what I mean? Like it's of that ilk of like, we can get 3,000 extras and put them in armor and all this kind of stuff, and then have that mysticness and all that kind of that swirl, and it's just. I loved it, but I'm totally skewed, and that's what it boils down to, I think.
So good, though, you fell asleep.
This
was so...
Well, I mean, we talk about how you're slowly getting up early and all this kind of stuff.
Did you end up finishing the movie?
No, I got to finish it still.
Oh, jeez. So I wonder if your criticism counts. You can't even make it through it.
I'm just telling you, I love it. I love that type of movie. I think that if we can go down a whole list of like random Asian movies that like, again, if you're into that kind of movie, it's super good. I don't know how.
Yeah, and I'm not knocking against the original because
I can see why people did, though.
I told you my problems. I didn't like the editing. Some of the parts just felt cheesy, and then the other parts was she was only good because of her inner force. It wasn't because she was actually talented. So that kind of tore it down for me. But like Michelle, she hated it. So the music,
she's a Disney.
She loved, So there's no music.
There's nothing.
There's no Mushu. There's no little Eddie Murphy dragon running around making cracks. There's no comedy really at all, really. Because there was 3, I remember there was 3 guards that were bumbling and always made things. So yeah, a lot, and the love interest between her and the one guy
didn't even really get touched upon.
Yeah, and where in the animated it's huge. It's so it's a big love story. So I can see why people got pissed, but it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? So they hate Lion King because it followed Lion King so closely.
How do we do these remakes if we don't know the formula?
And then they hate Mulan because it didn't follow it close. Here's an idea: just don't make the remakes. Let's just skip it.
I gotta tell you, but the visual incredible style of it. Oh my god!
Yeah,
Like
look,
the-
that's why I said the cinematography is what they call it.
Yeah, like in
like
the
the
production of-
landscapes and stuff.
yeah,
I
it's
said
just-
that was beautiful right away.
Oh my god!
And there's another thing. There's a big phoenix that follows her around.
Yeah.
But it never really does anything. It just kind of follows her around.
Well,
So- 'cause
I think it goes back
it's
to
supposed
the-
to symbolize
the
something.
mysticness and
but I was like,
yeah.
oh, what's that phoenix going to do? And it never does anything. I'm like,
Steve thought it was going to eventually clear out a bunch of
yeah,
dudes.
I was
or
going to do
something.
something that does nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. So, anyways.
But
Bill-
I'll tell you this: if you have Disney Plus, it's definitely worth watching.
Yeah.
And I would argue anyone who has it is also watching it.
yeah, I mean, and if you like back in the day, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, or
That's- yeah,
a
any of
movie
that.
like that,
Yep.
then this will be up your alley. It's basically kind of like Chinese superheroes, really, is what
Yeah,
it
that's
is.
what it is. Yeah.
There was another movie. I don't know if
Legend
you
of
ever caught
Zoo.
it. It
I
had
mean, we can keep going.
it had Matt Damon in it.
Oh,
And it
I
was
know what
about
you're
that
talking
wall, the
about.
Great
Yeah,
Walls. It's
yeah.
kind of similar to this.
Yeah.
If you ever watched that, were you going to say something, Bill?
Yeah, I was going to say I had zero interest in watching this, and now I half-ass want to watch it.
It's good.
It's
Well,
not.
it's
as
not a
Disney as
Disney
you-
movie.
Yeah,
That's what it boils down to. Is it's not a traditional type. It's not what you think of, like Steve said. If you're a Michelle of the world who loves that
Yeah,
that
she hated this
fanciful
movie.
singing,
Hated this movie.
dancing, Beauty and the Beast stuff, that shit ain't here at all. Like that is gone.
She would give this movie a 2. She
Yeah.
was not happy with this movie at all.
Yeah, I used to like all those Hong Kong action flicks that Charles was
It's
playing.
so good. That's why.
So if it's like that, then now I'm kind of interested.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
telling
and there's
you.
still
it's
some,
those
like I said,
epics.
There's
Yeah.
still some
Seeing
cheesy
like a Chow
scenes.
Yun Fat movie going on now.
Yeah, it's so
Like the little
good.
girl chasing the chicken, I thought was kind of cheesy, and then the part with the spy. So
That's
there's a
a
little
good-
bit of Disney cheese in there,
but
that
not to the
not
degree that
nearly as much
Michelle
as people
needs.
want it,
Yeah.
Is this like a 3-hour movie though?
No,
No.
it's two
and change,
2 hour
yeah.
and 10 minutes. Yeah. So
I
there you
thought
go.
it was good though.
But here's a question though: if I had to pay the extra 30 for it, I'd been like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I spent that extra 30. It's not worth an extra $30."
I didn't buy it for an extra 30.
But
I got such a soft spot for those type of movies. I think they're so good. Like it's one of those things I wish that more people would watch them so we get more of them. I can't explain, like, and you of all people, king of like put an army in a movie, like so many of those Asian movies, because what has Asia got? People. So then they take
Yeah.
3,000 people, throw them on a hillside somewhere and have them
a fight. Yeah.
It's great, man. I don't know.
So there you got Mulan, a 5 for me. Charles will give you a number next week because he fell asleep through it. But it seems like it's going to be
Not
relatively
the movie's
high.
fault. It's going to be high.
It's going to be high, and Bill is going to check it out because of his interest. Now, next up, I watched Moonbase 8 on Showtime, and that show was terrible. So,
But you wanted it. You said
I
it could
wanted
go,
it to be good, but
You
it
said
was-
it could also break one way or the other.
It didn't. It broke the bad way. I watched the second episode. I was like, I'm done. This is terrible.
Oh, okay.
So now, next up was Bryan Cranston, Your Honor, on Showtime, and this. Let me
You described that though.
Yeah.
You did this in a "Would you watch it" thing.
Yeah, so he is a judge in New Orleans, a high end judge, and he has his son living.
High end judge.
I
What's
don't
a
know what
high
you-
end
I don't
judge?
know.
You're the lawyer in the room. What's a high end judge?
high end judge.
I imagine that means probably a federal, or that he's sort of like on one of the higher courts.
Higher.
Yeah,
court,
that's
yeah.
what I meant. Sorry.
No, I like high end judge.
High end judge. And he has his son that lives at home. His wife has died, so it's just him and his son. His son's about 17. They don't really ever say his age, but right around 17. And while he's at work, his son's driving out, and he wants to put a memorial up of where his mom died. And the kid has asthma, and ends up. It's in a bad neighborhood, so some guys are going to mess with him. So he gets in his car all nervous and drives away. Meanwhile, there's another young kid, probably about the same age. He's driving a motorcycle that his dad just gave him for his birthday. Well, this kid leans down to grab his inhaler, and the dude on the motorcycle bites his hood.
wow.
It happens in that show so quick, and that dude goes flying. So
wow.
it's like, holy
It's one of those
shit!
things that just comes out of left field.
Yeah, you're like, whoa.
You probably should have prefaced that with spoilers.
Spoilers,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
And then he gets out to help the kid, but the kid passes away. So the young kid with the asthma gets
That's
nervous.
poignant in my life right now.
Yeah, the kid gets nervous and drives off instead of doing the right thing. Well, there's one scene, I'm going to ruin it for you a little bit, but the kid's on the ground dying, and he's blood everywhere or whatever. And the other kid's going to help him, like he wants to like give him mouth to mouth, and the kid dying just spews blood all over the other kids. She caught Michelle totally off guard. She was like, ah! She started screaming.
wow.
So it's intense, And then so now the kid's going home. He's trying to figure out what to do. He doesn't know.
Shit.
He's trying to hide his clothes, like he's got bloody clothes on.
man.
He has to stop at a gas station to get gas because he's running out of gas. So he's putting a hoodie on, but he's still got like bloody clothes hanging out.
wow.
So there's a video camera that gets him. He doesn't realize it. So this is all going to play into this. It's a show.
Gotcha.
So then eventually,
this is the breadcrumbs that are going to.
yeah, and eventually his dad gets home and find out what happened.
Oh, he tells the dad?
Yeah, he tells the dad, super nervous. And Bryan Cranston's like, well, we got to go to the police. We got to. And while
he's a high-end judge. He's got to.
Yeah, he's got to do the right thing when you're high-end. So he goes to the police station and tells his son to wait in the car. He sees the mafia boss and his wife crying. And he puts two and two together that his son killed the mafia.
Oh,
so if his son goes to jail, that mafia boss is going to have his son
Whack
killed.
him,
yeah, so then Bryan Cranston's like, oh, shit. And then he just walks out of the gate. And he's like, we got to cover this up. And then him and his son went home. And now Bryan Cranston's going through the steps to try to cover it up to keep his son from getting murdered.
Oh, wow.
So that's a pretty,
sounds pretty good.
It's pretty intense. The first episode, I was like, damn, I'm in. It's an 8 out of 10 right now.
Judge,
well, yeah.
He loses his high-end judgeship, though. You know?
Yeah.
Like losing his federale hood. Except
Yeah. Well, yeah. I imagine it's all going to come into play for the next 6 episodes. I think it's only 7 episodes. It's an hour long.
But it sounds really good.
It was good. It hooked us in.
Wow.
I needed a show to watch, and it came in just the right time.
Cool.
And Bryan Cranston is great at drama, right? I mean, he's a no-brainer.
Goes without saying.
Yeah, and the young kid with asthma, he just does some stupid stuff. But you think about it, you're 17, you're nervous, you got asthma.
You're the one who just screamed at Holly a few weeks ago.
Yeah. After dealing with Holly for a couple weeks, I kind of get why the kid's so stupid. And so, great show. It hooked me immediately. I hope it
Anyone
ends
else
well.
of note in it? Just Bryan Cranston?
The guy who plays the mafia boss, he's actually in Fargo. He's in a lot of things, but I can't think of his name.
Character actors all around.
Yeah, when you see him, you'll be like, oh, yeah, that guy. He's one of those guys. But the kids, the young guys, I don't know. But, yeah.
So you think that the season's going to center around him trying to, like, protect his son or do what's right? What do you think is...
It's going to be him protecting his son because that's how it ends. Like, he's burning clothes. He's cleaning cars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and then it's also going to be about the mafia guy trying to find out.
They
went to the accident and found the inhaler the kid dropped.
Oh, Jesus.
So they already got the kid's inhaler. They just got they're going to be after him. So.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be good. It's going to
Sounds like a good show.
Yeah, if you got Showtime, highly recommend it. A lot of us have free Showtime for some reason because our cable gave it to us. I have free Showtime.
Take that, enjoy it.
So I watch it, and the big.
You think it's gonna have like a 7-8 episode run like that modern?
Yeah, I can't see it being more than one season. If it's more than one season, then they're stretching this way too thin.
Yeah.
But one season of this is pretty solid. The only thing Bill probably would have kind of annoyed me. So they show Bryan Cranston in one of his cases, and it's about a cop who's saying he saw this black woman, and then the judge starts grilling the witness like he's a prosecutor, and it's like I don't think a judge would do that.
But I don't think that's how that works.
That seemed a little weird. Because he was like, I've been to that house.
Just shaking his head.
Yeah, so that part, the legal part might make Bill a little annoyed.
Yeah.
Because even me, who barely knows anything about legal, knew that a judge wouldn't just fucking go over the facts and everything with this guy. But I know they're being dramatic and trying to show his character and that he's a straight-up kind of guy. So I'm very big
kind of guy who's on the wrong side of the tracks.
Yeah, right now it's an 8 out of 10. I'll let you know at the end of the season how it goes.
But sounds good.
Yeah, it does sound good.
Family. So what's more important to you, your career or your family?
Yeah. Well, it looks like it's going to be his family.
Would BV any interest with your background on checking this out? What do you think?
Usually I shy away from legal shows because I tend to sit there and like point out all the things that are inaccurate, and I'm just not in. I mean, I do that. I'm not in court, but I mean, I deal with legal issues all day, so I don't really want to watch shows about them. But I tend only to like the ones that are kind of like more comedy based. My lighter side. It sounds like a really
Night
interesting
Court
story.
is what BV's saying.
Yeah.
He's waiting at Night
or
Court.
like Boston
Dan Fielding.
that kind of stuff to me is more funny. But
well, in all honesty, the judge part is more in the background. It's not,
it just happens to be what
it's more about his son and
trying to show he
his
had integrity, but he's got to do what he's got to do. Like BV's
I'm actually thinking like a more focused. What I'm getting the picture of is a more focused and intense sort of version of a subplot that was part of. You remember the movie Boiler Room, Charles?
Yeah.
Where Giovanni Ribisi's father, the character there, is a federal judge, and he ends up when he realizes what's going on.
He's got to help him, but he can't.
He tries to help him, and then the FBI ends up catching him, and then he has to cut a deal to protect his dad. Yeah. I that's kind of where I'm, but a much more focused and intense thing. If I had Showtime, I'd probably I'd check it out. But I mean, I'm not going to get Showtime just to watch the show. But it does seem more interesting than it did to me last week.
Yeah, sounds pretty good. And then Bryan Cranston, there's something to be said about his lineage and stuff like that. Like if he's put his name on it, I'm intrigued.
The next episode's tonight. It's every Sunday, so I'll watch it probably tomorrow.
So is he? I mean, does he have that same level of intensity that he had in Breaking Bad? Just
yeah, of course.
That's the thing I always like about him. Is he's super freaking intense in the way he plays.
Right now, he's in the nervous dad stage of trying to think of a plan.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like he's out at night scrubbing the car. And then the dog takes one of the bloody rags. He doesn't even know it. And takes off in the house. So, like, there's a bloody rag in the house that he's not aware of. Like the dog. So that may come into play later on. Oh, it's so good. It was good.
Sounds good.
I was a real winner for Showtime for once. All right, Charles, now, we were doing the notes like you saw at home. You were making cracks at me. And Michelle saw this sugar high. She goes, what is that? What's sugar high?
Okay.
So please explain what sugar high is.
Are you guys aware of the Netflix competition show Sugar Rush? So basically, Sugar Rush is they get 4 teams and they give them an hour to do a cupcake. Mm-hmm. And then as you finish, you stop your own clock, and then they judge, and then as you save time, they add it on to your end time. So what that means is if you got 3 hours for the finale, if you saved, let's say if you banked 16 minutes earlier or whatever, you have 3 hours and 16 minutes because you finished the earlier rounds faster. And I'm going to go on a rant on this early. Reality TV shows don't give goddamn people enough time to do anything.
I've always bitched about that.
And it's driving me
all
nuts
the way back
lately.
to Duff and the cakes.
Yeah.
I was like, why? Just give them more
There's
time.
some of the most, like, car people. And all, they do some of the Forged in Fire. Let them do whatever they want to do over, like, 2 weeks. Can I give them, like, why
so
does
I can see
everything...
a great finished product.
Yeah, why not just see the best product possible? But anyway, that's my rant for later.
That
we'll
doesn't put pressure on them. That's why.
That doesn't make the show any better.
All right. Well, yeah.
So this one is, it's the same premise as Sugar Rush, except instead of, you ever see like those people that do those crazy sugar sculptures where they make like the big, where they pull sugar and make like these.
Yep.
So it's that same thing.
Food Network has a show similar to that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and Netflix is pretty much biting on a lot of that stuff, but Nailed It, we're still waiting on more Nailed It to come out, and it still hasn't come out. But this is basically Sugar Rush's formula doing those sugar sculptures and stuff like that. So the first round, they have to do a sugar sculpture with a tie-in of a tasting element, and they get so much time. And then the later round, they have to do a big sculpture. And again, what these people can do in sugar, you as someone who is into, art and all this kind of stuff, they do some crazy stuff, like they're airbrushing crazy like chicks' faces on stuff.
Yeah.
They get very artistic. It is definitely art, in my opinion. And it's a neat competition show is what I brought it up here today. And just like, someone like Michelle, or if you're into some of those cake baking competitions, this stuff's right up your alley. And even if you're into art sometimes, it's pretty cool. So Sugar High on Netflix. It's the same people, like it's got the same host as Sugar Rush and all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely in that same ilk and all that kind of stuff. But I liked it. I was kind of entertained with me and my daughter really are enjoying those shows. But I'm with you, and we'll talk about it a little bit later. Give these people some goddamn more time. It drives me nuts.
So there's a lot of shows like that on Food Network. And there's this creepy guy. He's skinny. He's got bald head and glasses, and he talks really weird. And he does all the sugar stuff for Food Network. And they have competitions.
I know exactly, with the glasses.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? He's a real creepy dude.
Yeah.
He's probably
kind of shorter.
He's probably going to be a child molester at one point. We just haven't been discovered yet. Yeah, and they do a lot of this kind of stuff, and Michelle records all of it.
I find a lot of...
She'd probably be really interested in this.
We've talked at length at this point about how many different competition shows I watch, because I do get into a lot of those. Yeah. But like even British Baking Show, like what is wrong with giving these people... we'll talk about it in a little bit, but I'm just saying, like, it just drives me nuts. It drives me bonkers.
All right. So let's go to the animation corner, because I can never stop with my animation. The new trailer came out for Transformers Season 2 that Charles was lukewarm on. I liked.
It was not that good.
They're introducing Unicron in this one and Galvatron, which I don't understand, because Megatron becomes Galvatron, so I don't know how they're introducing him separately from Megatron. Maybe it's just like a voice in his head or something. So they're really tying into the Transformer movie, it seems, this next season.
Okay.
I'm all in. Charles is out, so we'll see
how
that
did
goes.
the trailer hit for you? Does it still got the
It
same
looked good.
visual styling and everything you like?
You won't like it. It's not much different than the first season. So, yeah. Charles.
I just want the 80s cartoon.
Yeah.
Is that available online anywhere?
I don't know.
I'm surprised if it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I got to tell you one of the things I've been rewatching. I don't want to interrupt Animation Corner because we all know we're on the edge of our seats. I'm knee deep. I'm at the end of season 3 of The Wonder Years.
Jesus. Why?
It's so good still.
You're out of your mind.
It's so good. I don't care.
Bill
man.
does not approve of
It
this.
stands up.
I love the Wonder Years, man.
Yeah, I got to tell
They're
you.
gonna have him watching it.
If you got Hulu, they got all 6 seasons. I'm gonna get through it. And the reason why the Wonder Years can stand up is because, like I said,
time based is in the 60s, right?
it's not even because even it applies to like our youth and stuff like that. It's if you grew up in a time before like smartphones and technology, I think that your childhood is kind of akin to any of that time. So that's why it still applies. It's really good.
It's funny you talking about old shows. Bert said he's working his way through The Sopranos season 1.
Oh, it's so good to rewatch.
He said it feels dated and
No,
kind of
it
boring
doesn't
to him.
at all.
He
It's
said the
so
first
good.
season.
I rewatched it less than 2 years ago.
He didn't like it, and he said it focused way too much on the therapy sessions with the.
He's
With
so wrong. It holds
Yeah,
up.
wrong. I have went back and watched that entire series at least 5 times.
5 times.
Love it.
Jesus Christ!
I think it holds up fantastic. I'm with BV. I've had no issue with it. There's some stuff where they're using like flip phones and stuff, but other than that, like,
He was not a fan. He tried to make it. He said it's kind of
surprise.
boring that first season.
oh man,
So back to the
Yeah.
animation. We got
Well,
sidetracked.
also, but I would say, I don't. Did he watch it regularly when it was new?
maybe
Nah,
that's
he
it.
wasn't a diehard. when it was new.
Because they spend a lot of that first year sort of setting the stage. It picks up a lot after that first year.
Yeah. Well, almost all shows, even Breaking Bad, slow. the
Yeah, but
first season.
Sopranos is so good initially, man. They kill puss.
He's the first
Yeah,
one I
he's-
know to ever say that.
Everyone
Everyone else loves it.
That.
Yeah, that's like the go-to
It's so
standard
good
for
still.
HBO
Wow.
shows, right?
That
It's
is the
Game of
greatest
Thrones,
television show ever
Sopranos, and The Wire. People love The Wire. Even though I'm
I
not a
tried to
huge
watch
fan.
The Wire, but much like you, it's a slow burn. Yeah, and it was kind of hard for me to get that moving because, again, one of the guys I'm a huge fan of that's no longer here, Anthony Bourdain, says the best show to ever be on TV. So I started watching it. That's a hard one, man. That's a hard one.
Idris
to get
Elba was
into.
pretty good
But
at
you realize how many people are in that show?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my god!
It launched a shitload of
Yeah.
careers. All right, so last of the thing, I did watch on Apple TV.
After
at work.
6 derailments, we're
Yeah. Snoopy in space. And I got to say, this was fun. They're only 10, 12 minutes an episode. It's like 10 episodes. And it was kind of funny watching Snoopy get rejected as an astronaut. He was getting pissed. So that
he still doesn't talk, right? Yeah,
no, he
they're-
makes those noises.
Yeah, the quirkies, yeah.
Animation looked good. Mind you, a lot of the old school Charlie Brown stuff. A couple new characters I don't remember, but okay, they're in there. And so he keeps getting rejected by NASA. So they end up.
I like how you
giving
say NASA, Steve. Congratulations. Did you work on that?
Yeah. Yes, I was at home in the mirror. NASA. So what they end up doing is getting tickets to Houston in the Space Center. And then he sneaks in again, but they know he's Snoopy. So what does he do? He puts a mustache on. That's right. Makes sense, right?
You can never figure it out. He's got that mustache on.
Eventually, he does become an astronaut. He gets to go to, and the whole show kind of teaches kids about NASA and what they do in the International Space Station and Mars.
It's
So
a lesson wrapped in a story.
yeah,
kind of,
and there's some good comedy in it too. I liked it a lot actually. It was very old school feeling as you watched it, and being at 10 minutes an episode, it's one of those ones I put on at work and it's in the background. And it's still got
just
that-
trying to justify that Apple Plus subscription you got. For
yeah,
free,
yeah,
right?
that too.
Yeah.
But I was looking for some animation this week. So if you have a little soft spot for old Charlie Brown stuff, definitely check it out. Especially like at 10, 12 minutes an episode, you'll crack through it pretty quick. And it's just funny watching Snoopy try to sneak around trying to be an astronaut. So yeah, I highly recommend Snoopy in Space. Maybe Lorna would like. I don't know if she likes.
They got the
Charlie
whole
Brown.
Peanuts catalog on the Apple Plus, and they're doing
Yeah.
some new stuff. So yeah, it's cool.
A big thumbs up for me. So that a lot of I like that, and I like that new Looney Tunes on HBO
That's
Max.
funny. I mean, you talk about that.
So those two,
That shit tickled me.
they nailed it pretty good for some retro stuff.
That Christmas one still. I still chuckle at that shit.
Fucking child, some labor. All right, Bill, we got some discussing of last week and this week.
Lock in for BB's lock pick.
Yeah, do we have to? So last week, as you might recall, I took the Bears were playing at home, giving 3 points to the Lions, who basically have looked abysmal. Everything looks perfectly fine. Bears are dominating. They're up by 17, and then proceed to blow another lead in the fourth quarter and lose not just the lead, but the game, 34-30. That's now 5 losses in a row. when honestly, at least 4 of those I think should have been basic locks.
Yeah.
And so down now to 6-8 on the year.
Oh, man.
Where I was previously, building up a nice little run and being 6-3. Overall, financially, with that $10 a week thing, I'm now down 25-30 for the season. And so kind of wondering why the hell I decided to do this in the first place. Oh wait, I didn't. Steve came up with this. It should have been Mo Markey's cold lock pick of the week. So
well, it sounds like next year we want to all jump in.
Good. Well, good. We can all look like a dumbass on a weekly basis. That's great.
We got to take the locks and just do picks of the week.
Yeah. So whoever wins at the end of the year
buys
buys
pick
dinner.
all the games against the spread, and then we should do it for the tournament too. We should just pick the games.
That's what Steve was saying.
Yeah.
And then, just pick all the. Well, although we'd have to do it we probably just have to do a bracket because you'd have to do multiple because they play like 2 games in a weekend.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm seeing the notes here about taking a moment to talk about me getting screwed. It seems to be a weekly occurrence now because
Last
they
week
either
you got screwed, but
have
that
a
was your own
dominant
fault.
lead and blow it, or
Yeah, some of these picks, like I said, Charles and I always give a percentage. We're like totally behind. But last week I told you, don't bet 4 against the Lions because they will screw you, and that's exactly what happened.
They didn't screw me. The frickin' Bears screwed me. That piece of crap team in this frickin'
He looks around his
metro
house.
area I live in can go suck a big fat. I'm not even gonna say. Screw that team. I am here now, heretofore, the rest of my life, a frickin' Bears hater. Screw the Bears. Screw the city of Chicago. I can't wait to get the hell out of this city.
Should they re-sign Mitch Trubisky?
Probably not. They certainly shouldn't pay him anything if they do. They shouldn't re-sign Nick Foles either, because other than apparently having a Big Johnson, he's not worth very much either.
They're calling the Lions Bevel's heroes here now. That's what they're calling.
Wow. that's going great. Yeah, they're all happy about that one comeback win, and when the frickin' Packers run them by like 3 touchdowns today, they can all shut up.
That's why you didn't take the Packers.
Well, I thought about it, except right here,
Lions will screw you.
And at the time I did this yesterday was making my picks. It was like, I think they were -9. And I learned the lesson. Screw the Lions. I'm not betting on them or for them. Just every week. I mean, it's 2 weeks in a row.
He's so annoyed. He's running out of words.
Well, it's 2 weeks in a row that the teams blow big leads. When I'm sitting there comfortably about to
Chiefs
get
were
the
way
W.
up, and then Tampa Bay.
He sounds like
back
he's
in.
just a degenerate gambler right now.
Well, but no,
They
the
knew
thing is,
who was supposed to.
I'm really. I mean, occasionally I'll make a bet on different games as I'm kind of going through, but I mean, I'm not putting money into this, so I'm only going to play with the money that I've already won or made from the
Dude,
original
bring out
thing.
that credit card. Put some cash on there.
Because it's not
Risk that house payment.
Because for starters here, I'm not stupid enough to think I can beat the system. These guys, Vegas makes money for a reason. These guys know what the hell they're doing. It's amazing how close these things are.
Insane, right?
Yeah, you're not going to win. Even the professionals, right, the ones that do make money on it, they only win about 60% of the time.
60% put you in money, right? Isn't that the
Yeah,
theory?
but so they're all grinding out a freaking
10%. Yeah.
I don't have that kind of freaking patience. I don't have the temperament for it. Oh my god, it'd drive me nuts. Anyway, so
BB's rant notwithstanding.
so now that I'm prepared to get screwed yet again, I'm going to move this. So the game I'm looking at this week is in Miami. The Chiefs are playing against the Dolphins. The Chiefs are a 7-point favorite. I am, although they screwed me a couple of weeks ago by blowing a lead to the Buccaneers, I'm picking the Chiefs. I do actually have some reasoning behind this one, but not that reasoning ever does me any good when I get screwed. But
Steve just laughed.
So
He does have a long list of reasons to still gets fun.
Well, yeah, okay. So Miami is more than likely going to be without all three of their top running backs, which is where KC has been on defense. If they've been susceptible, it's been to the running game. So they should have no running game whatsoever. The Dolphins have scored only 52 points in the last 3 weeks, and I believe they've had a defensive touchdown in all three, at least 2 of the 3. So they've been relying on defense to put scoring on the board, which I wouldn't expect they'll do against KC. The offense isn't scoring very well. Tua, my boy, but he's looked like a rookie. He hasn't been horrible, but he hasn't really been good either. And I think the basic reasoning for my picking on this is picking the Chiefs here is that I just think that the Dolphins are going to have a tough time scoring enough points to keep it close. It's not that I think they suck or that they don't have the offense to score into the 30s, which I think they'll need to do to be close with KC. I would expect this to probably be a 10 to 14 point KC win. I could see something like a 31 to 17 kind of game. So this is a minus 114 too. So I'm paying $10 in the bet with the hope to win 1880 total. So it's not even, the odds are kind of
not even
Vegas
double.
Vegas seems to think that KC's more likely to cover than not because they're giving, slightly less favorable odds there. And it doesn't really matter whether you think it's 10% or 90%. The end result will probably be the same. But that's the pick.
What unusual, Steve? What is Steve's confidence percentage in BB's pick this week?
Fully in on Bill's pick, but I have been many times, except for last week. Never bet before against the Lions. Kansas City by 7. I see 31 to 10, like Bill said. He said 31-17. I like Bill's pick 95% in.
I'm at 73.6 because I don't trust BV.
Why 0.6?
Because I did the numbers and that's what I ended up at.
I've never seen a man do so much research and still get screwed.
Yeah, I mean, the universe hates BV with this whole segment.
Can we at least acknowledge that for the most part these picks are very sound? I can back up with solid reasoning. There's no reason I should be getting screwed like that. Except for the fact that this is really freaking hard.
Next year, when all three of us are doing it, I'm just going to take Bama every week. Like, Bama to cover. And I bet you I'll win 9 out of 13. There you go. Bill's pick of the week.
It's tough.
He gets hosed, and it's harder than it looks. So all those hotline, call our hotline now for the pick of the week. You know, they're full of shit, too. So there we go. All right, Charles, we were only going to do this once a month, but because of lack of entertainment,
no content.
We've been playing a lot of VR games.
A lot of it, dude. I'm bouncing around. You're bouncing around. Yeah, it's crazy.
First game I played was Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge.
This was a big anticipated one for you.
Yeah.
It looked like it was going to be good.
It was $25, $24.99. Weird.
And this is on your Quest or on Steam?
This is on Quest 2. It's on the Quest store.
Okay.
You don't have to connect to the computer. I can play it with no wires.
No, nothing.
I do like to buy games that don't do that. Now, there's already another Star Wars game called Darth Vader Immortal. We talked about that one. Mm-hmm. Essentially kind of the same thing. This ties in a lot to the Disney World and Disneyland Galaxy's Edge stuff. So basically,
did it feel like a product BSy though? I don't want to jump in. Did it feel like just a lame kind of product tie-in like that, meant to sell park tickets, or was it? Did it feel?
It felt like it fleshed out what you would see in the park and why it exists. So there's a name of the outpost in the park. I forget what it's called, Baca Outpost or whatever the hell it is. So there's the main section when you start is like well, first off, you're up in space. So you're on a freighter. You're a droid. You're like a Charles in space that works on droids. Yeah,
plunging toilets on a starship.
Yeah, so you're on a starship. You're fixing droids, and you're doing cargo. And so it gets raided by pirates because there's some kind of special cargo on there. What happens is
they're
you
looking
release
for something.
Yeah, you release all the cargo, and then you fight some pirates.
Before you get going, how are the visuals on it?
Visuals look probably around PS3 level. High-end PS3 level.
Okay.
So not
a ton of horsepower baked into that headset, so they had to do what they could do.
And the thing about this game is it's more well-lit than Vader Immortal. So Vader Immortal a lot of dark, so they can hide a lot of the
jank to it.
Yeah, this is well-lit, so you can see some of the textures. So it's like, I mean, it's not terrible. It's
definitely
doable.
Playable, but it's not a showpiece.
Yeah,
it's not Half-Life Alex.
It's not
to
Half-Life
this.
Alex. No, nowhere close. So you play, and then you saw Force Awakens, right? Mm-hmm. Remember the scene where Chewie and Han are on their ship, and they got that weird monster thing with the tentacles, and then those Spice Pirates come in. It's them. It's that group. It's called the Guavian Death Squad or something they're called. And they're after your special cargo. You release the cargo, which lands on the planet below, which happens to be the planet that the Galaxy's Edge is in Disneyland and Disney World. So essentially, it turns into a first-person shooter. You have a gun, random guns throughout, and then you have a tool. So there's like certain things you can unlock.
So it is kind of like Half-Life like that. Like
yeah. They even steal. So like in Half-Life Galaxy, you put stuff in your backpack. Instead, you got a pouch in your front.
That seems to be a big VR mechanic. I'll touch on that.
Yeah. So that's
a lot of people are stealing.
You're putting shit in your pouch, and then So you get missions and you go out and you explore. You find stuff. They got little hidden droids everywhere. You collect those, and those are the same droids you can make at the store at the Disney World. So,
are you liking the fact that they're fleshing out the whole like universe / everything? Do you like the fact that they're Marvel Cinematic Universing the Star Wars thing where everything is tying together?
A little bit, but not a lot.
Sometimes a little shoehorned. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, and the problem is if you don't have certain experiences. Like me, I'm a nerd. I'm going to follow it all. But if I didn't watch the animated series and some of that shit came out in The Mandalorian, I'd be like, what is this? I don't even know what this is. So I can see where people get annoyed by that. And the latest episode of The Mandalorian, they talk about Operation Cinder in that. Bill Burr's character does with the one guy. Operation Cinder is one of the main missions in Star Wars Battlefront 2 when you play that game. So if you didn't play that game, you have no idea what Operation Cinder is.
You almost got to consume everything.
Yeah, and you get an idea of what it is because they talk about it on the show, but at the same time, I knew immediately. I know Operation Cinder. So I paused the show, look over at Michelle. Operation Cinder is in Star Wars Battlefront, so it's like, me being a nerd and into it all, it doesn't matter, but I can see where it's got to annoy other people. So
a simple Google search can fix those issues from when you don't know. Like I didn't know the one general that was. There's a lot of good articles attached to it, but it can be
overwhelming and annoying.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
and shoehorned. So this is basically you're just exploring the little planet environments, finding stuff that you need, coming back to the main hub. And then giving the stuff that you need to the certain person to complete the mission and vice versa. So it's not, and there's not like Vader Immortal, when you start the game, you're fighting stormtroopers, you're fighting a cool general guy. Then the next episode,
you feel part of the action universe.
Yeah, and then the next episode, you're fighting a Rancor.
Yeah.
And then the third episode, you're fighting Vader himself. So that always up the ante is cool. In this, you're fighting the same pirates over.
This is sounding a
again.
lot like the game I played this week. Exactly a lot like the game I played.
And it's fun at first, but then you're like, how many of these guys with the red helmets I got to shoot? The only guest characters show up are C-3PO and R2-D2. You do save those two, and you help repair C-3PO, and that's kind of cool. But it lacks a lot. It feels like a game that didn't get finished all the way, so it needs. And I say that because one of the missions. So you get done with the main mission, you beat this squid lady who's riding like a little AT-AT walker looking thing. You blow that up, and then the game's over, and it's 2 hours, maybe 3 hours at the most. And then there's another mission. If you unlock it, you go to the bar and talk to the guy, it unlocks like a flashback where it's Yoda and you're a Jedi. And that mission's literally only 12 minutes long. And that's it. And then you just go back to the bar, and that's it.
They tend to, and I mean, you've talked about, they tend to bite-size some VR stuff, and I wonder just for people's tolerances.
And there's 2 other missions, but they're still locked. So I guess eventually they're gonna. When I was reading, they're gonna unlock those.
Okay.
But if I gotta pay for them, I'm gonna be annoyed.
If it's a threshold,
yeah, because they're only 15 minutes long. So if I gotta pay $10 for a 15-minute mission,
it's not really worth the content.
Yeah. So right now the game's just kind of unfinished. So with Vader Immortal, you buy all 3 chapters. I enjoyed all 3 chapters. Everything was.
But that's an older game. To your point, it's not
came out
meant to
2 years
sell
ago.
the new Oculus hardware. That came out with the Lenovo hardware back in a few Christmases ago,
and that's better.
So
than this.
I think that the Galaxy's Edge stuff or the Galaxy's Quest, I don't want to use the right word.
Tales from the Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, I think this is meant to sell Oculus hardware, and you're saying it's a little lacking.
It needs more. It just there's not a lot of stuff there, not a lot of cool. Like, how come I can't get there's the Falcons there, like the Millennium Falcon. Like, you could look out the one bar and see Millennium Falcon down on the ground, but you can't go down there and go in it and like look around. I mean, how much would it have made why couldn't I go down and look at it, or maybe play that weird chess game with the
But
monsters?
I wonder if that's part of the lacking of the hardware of the to force it into the Oculus.
Or it's part of the,
Yeah.
you want to see something like Phil, go to the park.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm
you
sure
know.
there's a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
I'm sure
so
there was a conversation had. Is
This
what we
game
think.
should have sat in for another year or so and fleshed out some more stuff to do.
It's not quite baked all the way through.
This is a
yeah.
5 out of 10.
Wow.
It's a little bit of a bummer.
What'd you pay? $29?
$24.99.
$24.
Yeah. If maybe they had the 2 other missions in it and more to do, maybe if I go down and look in the Falcon, I'm not even saying flying around. Maybe just go down and look at it,
Poke around, move a box or something.
It just
yeah.
so it was
Twist the knob. Yeah.
It was a little
How'd
bit
the
of a letdown.
movement go? Analog sticks.
You
on
could change it, so you could either do the warp, or you can do the movement. I turned it to movement.
Yeah,
Uh,
you're with me on that. Like the movement thing is a big deal for me.
The other thing that annoyed me is the gunplay. So I got a gun, I'm pointing like this, and I'll shoot. Bullets like up here. So I got to keep moving the
tracking a
gun.
little wonky, you think?
I don't know what it was. The lasers were never on. So you'd shoot a couple bullets, and you, all right, I got to go down a little bit. All right, now I'm on target. And it was annoying.
wow.
It was
So
half
you're
like Alex.
compensating. You wonder if your hardware compensating for it or something?
Yeah, I don't know what was it doing, but half like Alex, if I looked down the sights of a gun, it shot where I wanted
dead
to shoot.
nuts. Yeah.
This game, the shooting was off every time.
Yeah. I think more and more, and as me and you definitely revived my annoyance with the VR stuff, like, you just realize just that Half-Life stuff is just so far ahead of everything.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
like everything is just now.
And everything's borrowing from it.
Yeah, and again, I'll talk about that. Yeah.
So now, because of Creed, I got onto a boxing kick, and I wanted a boxing game that didn't need
No tethering.
the tethering. This is Knockout League. Bill got the picture up there.
It's got a Ready to Rumble vibe to it.
Yeah, it's more, Mike Tyson, Ready to Rumble. Mike Tyson's Punch Out and Ready to Rumble style. So you get a little guy, he's training you, right? And you got to dodge a lot,
comes a
then
whoop,
punch,
whoop.
dodge, punch. All right, that makes sense. Okay, and then we go to fight.
Wait,
fight.
what did you pay for this guy?
This I got this in 1999.
Okay.
Now, Creed, as I told you guys before, is like a real boxing event. So you're in there, you're boxing, you're blocking, you're moving, and whatever else. This is way more arcadey, and which I knew, that's fine, but it kind of annoys you. So one, the boxing matches, there's no rounds. It's just a 6-minute match. So that's a little weird. The other thing is, so you're the guy I'm boxing, right?
So there's no stamina gain in between rounds or nothing
No,
like that?
no,
There's
no,
like,
no.
oh, my meter's way down, but hold
No.
on, I got the rounds almost here. Yeah.
So you're the guy I'm boxing, right? So you're the animated character. You got your hands down. So I'm like, all right, it doesn't register. You can only hit them once you do the special dodge. So if they're going to do a punch like this,
It's a
gotta
counter.
dodge.
It's all counters.
It's all counters. Even though they're standing there like this with their arms down.
just pop 'em.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
why can't I punch
So
this
you gotta
guy?
wait. Hand comes in.
You got to stand, wait, and block. And then when the hand comes
Uppercut.
in,
Or,
dodge
yeah.
it, and then do your punches.
What's the point of that?
And then on top of that, it doesn't register a lot of your dodges.
Oh,
so I'm
geez.
dodging, and it's not registering. The first 2 people I went through fairly easy.
when it got difficult, when they
Then once the difficulty went up and the dodging stuff's not. Yeah, so this game's a real bummer. The fact that he's standing with his hands down and I can't punch him made no sense.
There's nothing wrong with an arcadey boxing.
Yeah, but I
game,
still should be able to
yeah,
punch
it
it.
should be boxing. Is what
so
it's tough.
This one sucks. This is a 3 out of 10. I played it for about 40 minutes. Now it's designed so you can burn some calories. So I guess that's why there's no rounds. So you're dodging
6
punching.
minutes of moving.
Yeah, so then it tells me, oh, you burned 44 calories this match and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I guess if you wanted to burn some calories, this is a 2 out of 10. I didn't like it. I'll stick with Creed. Creed's way better. And you got the Rocky characters.
But again, to your point, that's not Oculus alone. That's tethered to a Steam account on a PC.
Yeah, so that's a bummer. All right, Charles, and then you tried one.
Yeah, so I picked up. I was intrigued by Walking Dead. I was intrigued by the ability to stab a zombie in the head like they do on the show. Like I thought that would be kind of cool. So this is called Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. Kind of came out around that Half-Life Alyx time, kind of first quarter of this year, somewhere in that area. It has the visual art style of the Telltale Walking Dead game. So it's not played
played
for
all those,
it's not played for super real.
A little cartoony.
Yeah, it's got a definite like cell shaded kind of cartooniness to it. And it's on the PlayStation Move, you cannot play with a controller. You have to play with the Move sticks. And again, I hit up with Steve about how do you move in the one game. The move sticks on the PlayStation VR don't have an analog.
They don't.
They do not.
The
They just
dildos that Bill is very aware of.
Yeah.
the
And
PlayStation
so
dildos.
the
do
way
not
that
have
this
moves.
moves is almost tank controls. You look, and then you push the center move control on your left, and then your person walks forward. And on that same one, you have a reverse to back up, and you have a pivot left and right. So if you want a quick move, you know what I
That's
mean?
the most
Like
unnatural movement I've
it's
seen.
super awkward. And
It's probably better on like a Quest, you think?
that's I hit you up to see if you can check this game out, because I bet you if you had an analog movement to it, it would give that one-to-one feel that I think everyone acts like they can't figure out the movement in these VR games, but like the answer is just put an analog stick on it. Is so from someone who plays a lot of games like you do, well, you play way more than I do. An analog moving is not hard. Like, why is this so complex? Why are we warping? Why are we?
Yeah.
You're reinventing something that's not hard.
Not needed to be.
Yeah, what are we doing? Like, it's just your head should just represent the one analog stick. Like, what is the confusion?
Not to interrupt you, but how much
Oh,
did you
you're
pay
fine.
for this game?
39.
Yeah,
39.
See, this game's pricey because you told me about it.
Well, and I'll
I
tell you
looked it up.
why.
It's-
I think I know why, because it's a full-fledged game. It is. It's got... So you go through a training sequence where you're kind of fighting with the controls or whatever, but it is a one-to-one thing. So, like, you grab, like, at one point you grab a knife, and you got to hack into, like, these walkers to, like, train you how to move and stuff like that. You hack into the walker. You got to, like, pull the knife back out, and then there's an integrity to your knife and all this kind of
before
stuff.
it breaks.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like, I'm like, okay, they hit on something here. Okay. The other thing that's neat is there's the Half-Life Alyx stuff. You have a backpack that you grab out from your back, and then you've got all this inventory stuff. I've never played a crafting game. I know you have before.
I hate 'em.
Dude, it's brutal. It's the old school Resident Evil stuff where like you got to go along and collect 6 herbs.
Find a candlestick, find a gun, and find a cartridge, and you can make a
Yes.
silencer. With
That
the
is
candle.
this game.
I hate it.
Yeah, this game to a T.
And you never find all the fucking components you need either.
The other thing that's weird, so it's got like it did the so you're in New Orleans, or you're in like a form of New Orleans in this game, and like the environment's super cool because like you're in like the flooded like old school kind of BV's place where like you know the old French Quarter and stuff like that. You get like a home base where you can store a bunch of your crap that you eventually pick up everywhere, and then you have to like you said, you craft them together, which is. That's kind of a bad mechanic. I'm like, I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm sure people are into that, but like, what?
You remember those games? They're by Capcom with the zombies. I forgot the name of them. Oh, that's gonna.
I'm only thinking Resident
You're in
Evil.
a mall and
Dead Rising?
yeah, it might have been Dead, right?
Dead Rising, where the tons of hordes of zombies. And
Yeah,
stuff?
they had something
and you
in
could
there.
make crazy spiked weapons.
Yeah,
and all-
yeah. So it kind of borrows from that.
Yeah, okay.
I hate it.
Yeah, it's a little. I'm not into that. I'll be honest with you. I just want to be able to like pick up a gun and keep going. So like the premise of this particular game is you're not allowed to go out at night. So you have a certain amount of time where like you have to get back to your home base, and then you're going out, and then you're coming back. And then there's like this the whole point of this game too, there's a main place. I haven't got all the way through it yet, obviously, because I actually had a headache, and I talked to you about that midweek. For the first time ever, this VR, maybe it was the controls. Maybe I'm fighting with the controls in my head or something, but I actually developed a little bit of a headache, so I bailed out of it. You're trying to find the mythical place, kind of like in the regular show, like a place where there's supposed to be all the sanctuary type stuff, where like that's where you're trying to figure out how to get to. And you can grab a flashlight here, your backpack off of here. You can also have an axe from here that you kind of pick up. It's like Half-Life that way. Like I don't know. Like I'm mixed right now. I'm gonna keep going into it. This is kind of an early in progress kind of review, and I'll definitely keep following up. The moving thing drives me bonkers, and I can't explain. It's a big bone of contention with me with the VR games because I think that they're trying to reinvent the wheel and it's broken. So as of right now, I don't think it's my cup of tea with like Steve described. I got to find 18 pieces of a gun to make it go. Like, why is there not just a gun? Why is there not?
I hate crafting stuff.
Yeah, it's a big gameplay element.
It's never basic either. You need like 4 components. 3 you'll find right away, but to be that 4th component
that
you
you're waiting
can't find,
and you finally have an aha moment where you finally got
I hate
it.
crafting stuff.
That's what this game is to a T. So,
and you can see it. I guess in the zombie apocalypse, there's no Myers or Walmart. I can see how you could have to craft.
But to
stuff
stab something, why can't I just find something to stab something?
Yeah, on one of the shows, a girl has a broken muzzle from a machine gun that's sharp. That's what she uses.
Yeah,
that's like she didn't have to craft that. She just found it on the ground.
Here's a chunk of bludgeon object.
Yeah,
So I don't know. So in this game too, you can only move during the day, and at night you're supposed to go back.
Oh.
And a lot of times it's you get up, you have like a journal with like a map, and then you go and pick up like side quests where like. One girl, for example, her husband turned. She couldn't do it, but if you do it for me, I'll give you something. I'll give you a code to a safe that you can see how it's progressing and all that kind of stuff. I think I like it. I don't like the crafting stuff. Is what it boils down to.
Longer game?
Oh, it's got to be. Yeah. So like I'm a few hours in, and I'm only just denting on the first spot you can go to. I haven't even opened up the rest of the map and stuff, so it's got to be longer.
I'll definitely have to keep this on my wish list. And
I think I'd be curious because, like I said, I wonder if that control thing fixes it for you. I would recommend it, but understand what you think you're getting into, I think is what I need to say. That's kind of my asterisk on this review. I don't want to give it a number yet until I get a little deeper into it. But definitely something I would want to talk about. And I think that someone like yourself, I'd be curious to see what you think of it.
All right. So there you go. You've got Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, Knockout Boxing, and Walking Dead Saints and Sinner. No real home runs here, but maybe sometime. Now, Charles, when you are in the zombie apocalypse like Walking Dead, you may need one of these. As a new gift.
You need to go get a piece of wood and throw that into.
Yeah, I know.
Like a tree trunk and just chuck that mug.
Bert gave me this for Christmas. It's
Oh,
that'll wake you up.
Crap.
Hey, grab that. So Bill's got the more complex one that has stuff that pulls out. This is more basic.
What is that?
But this one, I guess you could ratchet stuff. If you see, it's got a little...
it's a survival
kind of a tool.
It's
yeah.
also got paracord wrapped on the handle. You can take that off. You can take that cordage off and use. It's a survival hammer.
Oh man, look at there. So there's some unique things.
Even though I almost lost a toe with
it.
We
almost lost a toe. And it comes with a little handy thing where you can put it on your belt. But I don't know if I walk into Home Depot with an axe on my belt.
Hatchet.
I don't know if we're allowed to carry those around.
It's also stores. Thin. Chuck that thing into a piece of wood. Let's see if it breaks. I'm curious.
I asked Bert if I should take my shirt off like Jason Momoa and just start throwing axes.
Yeah, there you go.
So you can have a beer and throw some axes. I have a survival axe, very handy. If you guys want one, they're at your local.
BB, do you have any tools of bludgeoning at your house? I know you got a lot of firearms anymore. You got any you got a mace or anything like that?
We have, I think, a couple of machetes. I've got a very big
for the jungle that BB's into all the time.
Yeah, I know that Abby has a hatchet of some sort, but nothing like with the no multi-tool one like that is.
Oh man, it's even got what is that supposed to be? A bottle opener.
What's
in the
an
back
asp?
It's one of those like metal. It looks like a baton, and you can kind of just shake it out, and it comes out to be this big long staff of
a nightstick.
Metal staff.
I bought one of those for Dad for Christmas.
Yeah.
And he whacked us both in the leg.
It's got a bottle opener on it.
I don't know. You think that's what that is?
No, it's a belt cutter. That's a
belt cutter. Oh man!
If you had it, you could slice it open. Yeah.
Oh man, so handy this tool. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla with the axes, so it makes me feel right at home. Now this other one is Michelle hates when I buy Nerf guns because I immediately shoot her. But if anyone's a Halo fan out there, Nerf released about 4 guns. There's the Needler. They have one of those.
Oh, that's cool. How's that look? Does it got all the
it's got the thing sticking across the top of it. It's got the handgun that Master Chief uses. I don't know the name of that one. And then there's the one the Brute uses. Their gun came out.
The bigger one?
Yeah, it's like called, I don't know what, you can look it up online. This is the main gun that has been in Halo for what, 20 years now? I mean,
it's been there forever. It's like a Spartan assault rifle or something like that. I don't know what you call it.
Of course, in the game, it's all green and black, but, for safety purposes, they make the kids. But it takes 4C batteries. Let's see if I can shoot it by Bill. Did you see that come by your face, Bill? I'm trying to shoot it by each camera there.
I'm seeing it fly out of the...
Yeah. But a lot of fun, of course.
How many go in the cartridge?
10. It has a clip, just like a regular gun. You load them up. You load in the things. You just slam it in there. You're good to go, just like Master Chief himself.
It's got like that wind. You can hear it wind up. What's the breech piece there at the top? Like
this is supposed to be. It doesn't cock.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And also, you take it out and it helps with if you get a jam. Like if you get a jam, you open the back.
Oh, okay.
And then you can adjust it if it gets jammed.
Oh,
so I don't know
can
how.
Can you buy extra magnets for that?
What?
I'm sorry. Can you get extra magazines for that?
I don't know about magazines. You can get more bullets. I don't know.
That's like a standard Nerf dart.
Yeah, definitely a standard dart. I like it a lot. I'm a big Halo fan. Charles, you're a fan.
It's cool looking, yeah.
I would like that this glowed. I told Charles I might mod this and put a little LED light in it so it glows like it does on Halo. But
I'm with you. I'm a little bummed that the color's so orangey, orangey, but I know why.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could paint it if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
But it's only $50. I mean, I didn't buy it.
It'd be cool if you painted it and weathered it and stuff like that. Like, it'd be kind of cool. Okay.
The only thing sucks is it'll still say Nerf here, though.
Yeah.
But Nerf's also...
You can get rid of that, too. You can grind that off and putty that out of the way, too.
Nerf's also coming out with, I don't know if you've seen it, the Mandalorian rifle.
Yeah, I did. It's like $100 and something.
That was way more expensive than this one.
Huge, too, man.
Really long.
I was intrigued. Yeah. What'd you pay for that?
Well, it was a gift, so I didn't pay anything. But if you're going to buy it, I think...
Who bought it for you?
Bert.
Oh.
I think... if you had to buy it, I think it's only $50.
Oh, okay.
Not too bad. It's not ridiculously overpriced.
What'd you get Bert this year?
Notre Dame replica helmet.
Oh, yeah.
So I got him that.
Not the fishing lures we talked, or it is
the old school gold.
Yeah, not the fishing lure.
Yeah, so I've gotten him Michigan State, now Notre Dame. I was like, I'm going to run out of helmets to get you. What you got left? You want Vikings next year?
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is the, what did they call it? There's a number on it. The MA40 assault rifle from Halo. A lot of fun. Michelle hates it.
How many batteries? 4 C's?
4 C batteries in this diesel. Bert came out and gave me some C batteries. He's got this Ziploc bag with about 100 batteries. I go, what up, Fred Sanford? Your bag of batteries? I've never seen that. But yeah, 4C batteries. It doesn't come with the batteries either. So that's a little bummer. But if you're a big Halo fan, I know they've made actual replicas of the gun that looks more realistic. I've seen them at GameStop and stuff like that, but I think they were $200-$300. I don't think they shot, and I don't think they shot Nerf bullets. So there you go. They're good to shoot the dogs in the ass, shoot the wife in the ass, and it's a great way to wake Holly up when she's tired. So
start riddling her with those foam darts.
Nerf gun's a great way to wake people up. All right, so there's my nerd look.
It's funny, Nerf guns are fun for like 2 weeks.
And then you're like, what do I do with this thing?
I don't know. You just keep moving it around your room. And every once in a while, you just get a hair up your ass and shoot people with it.
Yeah, I want to shoot the Christmas tree, but Michelle had a hard time.
Oh, my God. You'd have a lot of targets.
Yeah, I know. All right, let's go on to what to watch this week, because this is the favorite segment of Bill's, because he watches all this stuff. Yeah. So first up, this is Ava with Jessica Chastain on Netflix. This is supposed to be a female spy thriller. Early reviews say it's a lot of talking and not a lot of action, so they haven't had the greatest reviews on this one. She did do the one, Molly's Game. I like that movie a lot.
Yeah,
she tends to do some pretty good movies. I am kind of interested.
That was the one where she did the gambling game.
Yeah,
right?
that was actually a good movie. So I'm kind of a yes on this one. Bill, what do you think?
Well, I was looking it up. It looks like it's got a pretty good cast. Like, John Malkovich and Gina Davis, unless that was the movie and I'm completely mixed up on that. But I've had a problem with these spy movies and this is for whatever reason when they have like the badass female in the spy role, it just seems to miss for me. So probably won't watch.
BV.
There you go. Yeah, that's what it is.
Goddamn chicks ruining it.
Probably won't get into it. But
side note though, she has a really long neck. Look at that picture. It's a long
like
neck.
Burt Hanks.
Huh? Yeah. Coming from a guy with no neck.
She looks hot. I don't know.
She's a pretty girl, yeah. Go and Charles?
I'm a no. I'm with BV. I don't dig these chick spy thrillers. There's a bunch of them, usually Charlize Theron's in them and stuff like that. I'm just not into it.
You fucking sexist.
I'm with BV. I'm on Team Sexist.
I'm on Team Sexist. All right, next up, and one of Bill's favorite, Mr. Iglesias.
Dude, they brought the shit back.
This shit got a third season.
Oh my god,
Mr. Iglesias, the
shit that Netflix cancels and then brings back.
Yeah, and they keep this. You know what? They probably just forgot they had this. So
You're like, oh shit, put that out. You might as well go ahead.
They call it part 3, which means season 3.
Oh my god,
I'm a big no. I watched 2 episodes of the first season. It was terrible. I could never watch again.
Jesus.
Bill, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, love Fluffy. Don't love the show. Unfortunately, wife also loves Fluffy and will have to watch the show.
Oh.
I did take a look though. It's only 5 episodes, so
nothing beats when you have
Knock
to
it out in
go.
about-
How big
knock it out
is
in
the
about
misery for BV?
you know, it's not. I mean, it's a really. It reminds me of prior to the whole Netflix and streaming phenomenon. One of these like second-rate CW comedies
Yeah.
that
not
would
even a
last
regular
a few
network
years
comedy.
simply because CW didn't have a lot of stuff to put on. But yeah, it's. I mean, normally I'm fine with a good old ABC comedy, but this is it's just not good. It's not Big Show bad, but it's not that
not
far
much
away.
better. Oh wow.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I'll be watching it.
Wow. And I'm a huge no. I think these
it's
shows are
terrible.
terrible. I think BV hit the nail on the head, too. Like a bad CW sitcom. Yeah. No, thank you.
All right. So next up, The Expanse. Now this one came from Sci-Fi, went to Amazon.
I love you, Adam Savage. I love you. This is bad.
This is the 5th and final season of The Expanse. I tried to make it to the first season. I just couldn't. The only person I know who did was Randy, and he still watches this show. I'm a big no.
This is a bad show.
Well, I mean, I guess you could watch all 5 seasons on Amazon if you wanted. No thanks. Bill, what do you think?
Sci-fi plus Amazon equals hell.
Wow.
I mean, look at that picture, though. They look like ass.
Everything about it.
They got
says,
the
yeah.
guns. It all looks cool, but you watch it, that shit is not there. It's all
And
boring.
then, like I was just touching on, Adam Savage on Tested does a ton of stuff with their special effects. He's always on the set showing you the cool stuff. Then you watch the show and you go, why the hell am I watching this? The show is terrible. Randy is wrong. We got to question Randy's sci-fi. He's got a bad taste in sci-fi. He really
it
does.
doesn't matter. If it's sci-fi, he's in.
Yeah, like some of the stuff he's into. I'm like, dude, you're wrong. This
yeah.
is shit, dude.
Yeah,
he expands.
He
Again,
refused to admit when sci-fi is shit.
Go to tested.com. Tested.com is great. Me and Steve talk about it all the time. I love Adam Savage. We've talked about it on
One
the
day
show.
builds are my favorite.
Yep. And The Expanse still sucks.
This next one's new to HBO Max. This is called Let Them All Talk. This is some weird experimental movie where they did it all, like, I forget where they did it all on location in a day or something. And it's Meryl Streep, and I think it's Steven Soderbergh or something. So it's got all this buzz behind it. It sounds terrible. I think most of it's ad-libbed. There was no script, I guess. No. Meryl Streep is out. Now, Bill, your thoughts?
What?
Yeah.
Meryl Streep has popped up, I want to say, on another Netflix movie, too, The Prom or something like that. Like, what's going on with her? Like, usually she's very choosy and, like, wants to make sure.
Maybe she's hit the De Niro stage.
Yeah, maybe. I'm a no. No, thank you.
Side note, my wife has been watching The Flight Attendant and loves it.
Oh, that's the Kaylee Cuoco.
Yes, but
show.
again, it's a whodunit.
Yeah,
so, Michelle loves whodunits. I told you.
God, how many of those can she watch?
Yeah, well, yeah, she's watching another one. Next is Godmother on Disney Plus. Godmothered. So you see the girl, the blonde girl,
the chubby girl. Yeah,
she plays a comedian in a lot of stuff. She's a comedic actress. She's a godmother and ends up she was going to help this girl, but the girl ends up being a 40-year-old miserable woman, and she's trying to help her, realize life is fun and stuff. No, this is terrible. Bill, any thoughts?
No.
Yeah.
And I'm with BV and Steve. This is a big no. I saw this. There is a decent Disney Plus movie that I started watching today that came out called Safety. Did you see that with a Clemson football player?
With the brother that
He's got to raise the brother and then you got to keep him in the dorm and stuff. It's kind of a Disney cheesy one, but I was entertained by it. Godmother, I didn't touch with a 10-foot pole, so I'm a no.
And the finals of Amazing Races this week. I guess the
Hung and Chi, where's BV at? His
yeah,
coworker.
your coworkers are running right along in this one. BV. I know the Carolina Panther guys don't.
They got
win.
hosed, man.
No, did they?
I love the Amazing Race.
I haven't watched it. Michelle and Holly are all about it. It's the one show those two watch together religiously every week. So
they act like they like each other for that hour.
Yeah, for that hour, they love each other. Amazing Race finale. I'm a no. Bill?
Yeah, I never got into it when it first came on, so I've never gone back to it. So no.
Are you watching your coworkers and cheering them on?
They're not. I mean, they work like across the world. I mean, they work for the same company. I wouldn't call them coworkers.
I claim all the Marriott people.
Yeah. No.
And Charles?
I love The Amazing Race. I'm all in. I watched it all the way up until this point. I can tell you how the NFL players got screwed because the other three teams jumped on them and all that stuff. I love that show. Show's great. I love it.
All right. And then next up, also a big finale this week, Masked Singer, the finale.
You didn't put the Masked Dancer. Isn't the Masked Dancer supposed to come out too?
There's only so many Masked Singers.
There's only so many masked things.
I don't watch this.
Yeah.
Michelle does. I love looking up the results on
That's
the internet.
all you do is a 2-second look.
And then telling her before she watches it, she gets pissed at me. I love that, but I know I'm not going to watch this. Bill?
Yeah, no.
And I'm with you, Steve. 2 seconds on a Yahoo article, and I know who's in every one of the containers or the masks.
I will say,
I watch a whole hour.
Jenny McCarthy puts the girls out every episode. So you want to see a 50-year-old's titties. They're always out on Masked Singer.
Is there anybody that hasn't seen her titties already?
Yeah, good point. Good point. She should put sparkles on them. Does that help?
Oh.
And then next up, there's a theater release this week.
Yeah.
This is Monster Hunter. This is that Capcom game.
Mila Jovovich.
Huge in China.
Is she the only one that they can cast in a video game movie?
I saw
don't
the
understand.
trailer looks interesting, but I'm not going to go to the theater to see it. Go, I can anyways.
Would you go to Family Video and rent this, though?
Yeah.
I gotta say, this has got you written all
I'd rent it and then come to you and go, God, that sucked.
That's
So Monster Hunter in theaters, no for me. Bill?
This is a complete no for me.
And again, Mila Jovovich is the only one that can be apparently in a video game movie. I don't know why that rule got established in Hollywood. I don't get it. I'm a no. I don't watch the Resident Evil movies. I don't even play Monster Hunter games. I'm with Steve. The visuals of it, definitely. I'm like, okay, I'm intrigued, but I'm a no.
I'm surprised they're going right to theaters. That's interesting. So, Charles, what's happening in the UFC? I know they had a big pay-per-view this weekend.
Yeah, so we had UFC 256 from the old Apex in Las Vegas. Apparently, two little guys beat the brakes off one another. They were talking about it on SportsCenter. So, Davison Figueiredo had a draw against Brandon Moreno. They threw 269 significant strikes. Jesus. They were swinging for the fences. It looked really
look
good.
like hamburger?
Not really. They're little guys. That's the problem.
Okay.
So draw. So Figueiredo keeps the belt. They're calling it the best little guy fight ever. So
Little guy fight.
And now this one was a big deal. So Charles Oliveira won a decision over Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson's that guy that everyone thinks is better than he is and needs. He just takes care of business and he should be getting his title shots, but he's not. Is always like the big rub with him. So finally he lost. They everyone kind of calmed down on that shit. So it sounded like it was a decent pay-per-view. I'll catch out some prelims and stuff later in the week. I'll watch some replays and stuff. Next weekend, there's a pretty good UFC fight night coming. Jose Aldo fights Marlon Vera. And then you got Stephen Wonderboy Thompson fighting Jeff Neal. That's a decent little card. I'm going to check that out again on the ESPN Plus app, definitely. And then BKFC 15 took place last night.
Did you watch it?
Not yet. I've been working like a madman. That's why we're recording at 4 a.m. Sam Shoemaker KO'd Bobo O'Bannon.
Is that his name really, Bobo?
Yeah.
Well, I guess you got to be.
Isn't that meant to be Bobo?
I don't know, but we'll call it Bobo, Bobo.
Either way, if you
some
have a name
dude
like
from
that,
the bar showed up.
Your only chance in life is bare knuckle, right? If that's your name. If your real name is Bobo and you're not on Howard
I
Stern.
don't know, man. Yeah, so nonetheless, so that means Sam Shoemaker, who you've seen fight on bare knuckle, the big tall white guy with the beard, is going to get a title shot against Joey Beltran.
Oh man, I'm on the edge of my seat.
I'm watching, dude. I love it. $3.99 a month for the BKFC app. It's so good. It's so
man.
worth it. I
Less
love
than the
it.
cost of a
So,
Whopper.
Yeah, dude, it's worth that $3.99. So anyway,
I think I'd rather go with the Whopper.
dude, you're crazy. That BKFC is
Dude.
great.
Fair Nuxus. That's just good quality fun.
BB likes it, dude. I'll avoid you.
Because we're in a back barnyard somewhere.
It's so good. They were in
Watch
Biloxi again, dude. It's great.
All right, so there you go. Charles is back. Is the UFC just holding the big names till next year? Is that what they're doing? Because these last
That's the
3 or
vibe I
4,
get. They're also competing with football right now, so they're kind of dialing
They're
back.
waiting for March, April.
But you got a Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor fight in January, so
I saw a clip though with Dana White saying that there was a 0% chance that Conor was going to be fighting.
he was going to be fighting Jake Paul. That's the
Oh,
article.
I see.
You didn't read the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Apparently not.
Yeah. So he basically had to come out and say there's no way that Conor McGregor's going to fight Jake Paul. He'll destroy him, and it's not worthy of his ability and all this kind of stuff. So, and then BV will come out here and deny that Floyd Mayweather will fight a soup can for a paycheck.
Apparently, I was way wrong about that.
Yeah, yeah, we called that
dude.
one. Me and Steve did. We're like, I don't know.
He's what the kids
Sounds like
call
somebody needs
thirsty.
Yeah,
Yeah, it sounds like somebody needs to stop taking, a couple $1 million at a time into the casino and betting on random sporting events.
Dude,
Yeah.
sure. BV's spot on with
Be
that.
the brokest billion frickin'. He's probably made $1 billion in his career, and he'll end up being the brokest billionaire in history.
Somehow us 3 are worth more than him at this
Yeah.
point.
That's it,
Yeah,
dude.
it couldn't happen to a nicer guy though. So
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. Fuck him.
exactly,
All right.
douche.
So we're going to the news. I screwed up by putting the price on here because I wanted you guys to guess
I
it.
knew it already.
So Apple has finally come out with the over-the-ear.
the cans.
Yeah, just like the ones we're wearing right now.
Some with no cord,
Yeah.
Bluetooth adapter,
Yeah.
Apple's technological advanced noise canceling, blah 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 blah.
All a bunch of bullshit.
All at the price tag of
$549.
Dude, they're out of their
Who in
fucking
their
mind.
goddamn right mind is paying that? You can get Beats for cheaper than
Dude,
that.
the worst
Doesn't
part
Apple
is-
own Beats?
Yeah, I think so.
I've got the latest, high-end model Bose headphones, at least the ones from last Christmas, and those were only $400.
Yeah, they're higher than Bose at this point.
Dude, and the worst part is they're going to bring them out for $550, and then assholes they're going to iterate on them in 3 months.
Yeah,
So then you're going to have
people
the
are gonna
old.
add them to their phone bill. Like,
Oh my
I got my headphone and my. But
unbelievable.
how many years though?
How much is
You
Holly
need
going to
earbuds, bro. You don't need these. Look at you look like Grandpa wearing them. And now all these young assholes are gonna be wearing these fucking things, just like we've been
that
doing.
cool ass Colin Kaepernick commercial on the man when he's walking with the cans on.
Oh man, it's so funny. So I find it a little hypocritical
That's
and way overpriced.
So where's Holly getting them from?
I don't know. She does not like over the years, so we'll see if she falls for it.
God, because what are the new Pros? What are the AirPod Pros? 290, 250? What are they?
They're $250.
$250.
I got her a pair for Christmas.
Oh, spoilers.
She ain't listening. Well, $190.
Wow.
I got them on sale. I was like, Jesus. Now here's a weird one. KFC's making a mini 15-minute movie spoof.
People were like, "Is this real?" Like,
Lifetime movie of Mario Lopez as Colonel Sanders, but it is an actual 15-minute movie. I think it's on their website or something. Very weird. I don't know. I know they're trying for that kooky.
that's a
Colonel
KFC's
Sanders
thing,
KFC
right?
thing,
Yeah. It was Rob Riggle one week. It was Jason Alexander. And now it's the ageless wonder Mario Lopez. It's their thing, I think.
So there you go. If you want to watch a 15-minute Lifetime spoof, go to their website. I believe it's on.
I think that Norm Macdonald should always be the Colonel.
Yeah, he was the best.
Yeah,
he was the best Colonel. He was
always.
funny. Now, Chuck, we talked a lot about streaming. Now, the one thing about xCloud, it was only available on Android, which didn't make much sense to me because why wouldn't it be available for PC right away? Because Microsoft is PC. Well, now it is. PC and iOS are getting versions of Project xCloud. So if you're at work, you got a work computer, maybe you can sign into your xCloud at work and play some game, play some Halo.
I wouldn't do those things because I only do work at work because I'm very.
Okay.
But I also have a video. I did the remote play at a different building. Not at work, but at some other random building. And I'll show it to you when I get a chance.
It may or may not have been
I
near
took
the
a video
airport.
of it, and you could see how smooth it is. And I realized that at this other building, I have a stable 100 meg connection is what it is. It's 100.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You can't be
so-
fucking around with the 50. Like
Yeah,
we
I
got.
don't think it's the 50.
Yeah, I have 100 at work too, and everything works. Streaming works way smoother at work.
Yeah,
than it
I
does at
think
my
that they
house.
need to recommend the bare minimum be 100.
Yeah. So there you go. If you want to, Bill, if you ever have to go back to the office, you could sign up for xCloud and just play video games all day and not let anybody know.
No, our firewalls will block that. So
Oh, damn.
you can't play any games on our computers.
Sons of bitches.
Well, and so then, the nice part is if in theory I could figure out a way to play this at home or something like that, I wouldn't need the new Xbox.
Right.
I could get the new Halo. I could sign up for xCloud and get that,
Which is Game Pass. You
which
get
is
to sign
Game
up-
Pass, yeah. And then get the new Halo as part of Game Pass and then play it over xCloud.
With full specs.
That sounds amazing. But the problem is we've learned
We've
it's
got
really
shitty
tough.
AT&T
Yeah,
fucking
50
cable.
meg just doesn't
Every-
cut it.
Every time
How
I
do
see
you
that
test that
AT&T
again?
commercial about that.
What's that, BV?
How do you test that again?
Test what?
Your speed or
Just
whatever.
Google speed test is all
Yeah,
you gotta
speed
do.
test.
Go to Google and just put speed test
and
in
it'll
it.
say start, and it'll test right there on your computer.
Yeah.
So there you go. xCloud is coming. I need better.
I'm
internet.
excited for it. I just, like you said, I think that it boils down to it's all about your pipe. And everything in life, it's all about your pipe.
And we found out Charles and I's pipes just aren't that good. So we need better pipes.
I asked Heather, and she said our pipe's kind of weak. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
Michelle's like, yeah, your pipe sucks.
All
Fuck.
right, all right.
But she seems to be happy with it because she won't let me get a new pipe. She won't let me get the new internet. So there you go.
Is that download speed?
Yeah. Usually.
I'm like 77.
So you're probably
pretty good.
You're probably 100.
You're
Yeah.
above 50, which is us. Where
Are you wireless where you're sitting right now? Or are you hardwired?
Yeah,
Yeah.
wireless.
So if you were hardlined, you're probably 100.
Yeah. So if you want to do streaming gaming, it'd probably work pretty good in your house.
Yeah.
Where Charles and I struggle.
Yeah.
All right, now the big movie that came out a couple years ago, Ready Player One, is based on a
Steven
book.
Spielberg. and
Yes,
everything.
it was a big nostalgia. I don't know if you saw it. Did you see it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it.
I mean, I liked it. I enjoyed it.
It was okay.
It was okay. It wasn't this groundbreaking generational movie that people made it out to be, but it was fine. So, of course, the author of the book said, hey, time to cash in. Let me make a sequel. And people do not like it. I don't
What's
know the
the
details
beef on
well.
it? Yeah, I was gonna-
It feels like a cash in, a bunch of unneeded extra characters added in the sequel, and people are just not fans of it. And it really cashes in the nostalgia, even worse than the first movie did.
But they're going to make it based on, like I said, the first one I think made some loot.
yeah,
I
so
would
do you
assume-
think Steven Spielberg makes the second
No.
one? Do you think they
I
get somebody
he's
else?
out, Yeah.
So someone else, but he's laid the blueprint, so it can't be that hard.
It'll
to do
be
it.
the guy who does Dune or something like that or whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
I just find it so funny that the guy,
The
tried
guy
to
who's
cash-
directing like Wonder Woman. It'll be whoever directs Wonder Woman or something random.
Yeah, Patty Jenkins. I just find it so funny that how much people love that first one and the movie. Well, actually, from what I understand, the book didn't actually review very well, the first book, but the movie did great. So Michelle hasn't bought the book yet. She's
But
gonna.
it was just okay.
She-
I don't think it's.
She loved it, so I don't know.
Are you gonna run out and go see that?
I'd see it. Yeah,
Oh wait,
but
are you gonna stream it because you're not gonna be able to run? Out
Yeah, I
and
won't
see
be.
it?
What theater am I gonna go to? That imaginary one?
AMC says they're gonna. The AMC theater says they're done in January if they can't get going.
Oh man.
Yeah, I saw that article today.
And Cyberpunk 2077 released. I will not have a review of it until after Christmas. It's one of my Christmas gifts from my wife, so that's when I get it.
What are you getting it for?
I got it on PS4 Pro.
Okay, so rumor has it that
It's kind of shitty.
all
on
the
console.
consoles are broken.
That's what I'm hoping. Since I don't play it till after Christmas, a lot of the patches.
Yeah,
will
you
be
hope
in.
all that shit. People
Yeah.
having seizures and shit. And it's crazy.
Well, I don't think I'll have a seizure.
you,
but
you don't think.
that's what I'm frothing at the mouth.
Yeah, I guess-
What happened? He played Cyberpunk. Look at him.
yeah,
Make sure you do a video of that one.
on the X and the Pro.
Bill's reenacting.
Start flaving.
On
Yeah.
the X and the Pro, apparently it's a little busted. So
They got to be working on patches.
big segment, my favorite podcast about video games, aside from the fact it's a little podcast, is the Bombcast, and they went in for like an hour and 15 minutes about it. And it sounds like the game also has some issues too. So
Yeah.
performance and issues like that aside, just the game itself has some issues.
And it was never going to live up to the hype that was.
It's got a lot of stuff on its shoulders. It's
Yeah,
got a
because
lot
of Witcher
stuff.
3. All because of Witcher.
It's not even that. Like, there's no other games.
Yeah,
like,
that's-
it's got a lot of pressure on it because it's the only game.
Yeah, that is true. Now, Charles, we're going to set aside a couple minutes here. Disney announced basically everything this week.
Every character on every show gets its own show.
Yes. So if you are a big fan of The Mandalorian or
Name
Disney
a show,
Plus,
anything, yeah.
or the animated Clone Wars, you're going to get some stuff, and it's coming.
They are going full tilt into all things.
Yes. Some of it at theaters, some of it at Disney Plus. So at the theaters, Indiana Jones 5 is happening. It's supposed to happen next year.
Okay.
Film this year, out next year.
Is there any possible way that is any good?
No.
I'm telling you, man.
He needs to find the fountain of youth in the first 5 minutes, go into it, and then
And
Chris
have
Pratt
CG.
comes out as Indiana Jones. If they don't do that, they're screwed. This
missing.
75-year-old Indiana Jones is going to be so weird.
It was so bad. That Shia LaBeouf one is so bad.
Or just do the
Love
move
the Indiana Jones
where
movies,
he's sitting there
man.
doing like an interview, and he's talking about a time, and it flashes back, and it's a young actor.
just have him as a narrator or something.
Yeah, and then a young actor shows up
He's
as
a pretty
him.
conceited dude, so I don't know,
Oh,
man.
man, I don't know.
It wasn't a stretch for him to play Han.
Well, Han was already that old.
No, I'm talking about he was conceited like Han in real life. is
Oh
what I'm
yeah,
trying to say.
yeah. So I don't know. Indiana Jones. There's another movie based on a book series that Michelle likes. Sorry, it slips my mind. That's supposed to be coming out. Of course, there's all the Marvel movies that are going to be hitting. Black Widow is rescheduled for May of 2021. Then you got the Eternals, which comes out in November of 2021, and then the something Chi. I don't know what that is. It's a Kung Fu one. That's
I'm
2022. And then Black Panther is scheduled for next summer or 2022 summer. And they will not recast him. They're going to go a different direction. Like his little sister is going to become it.
Oh, okay.
So they are not going to recast
They're
Black
respecting
Panther.
him passing.
And then you go into the Star Wars shows. They've gone insane. There is one Star Wars movie. It's going to be called Rogue Squadron. That's the same squadron that Luke Skywalker was a part of when he blew up the fucking Death Star. So it looks like it's going to be in that time frame. Now, someone did point out, before we go into all these shows, all these new shows and TV shows and movies are all based on the original trilogy's timeline. Did you notice that? None of them are based on the Force Awakens timeline. So is Disney just not happy with what happened in that first series? And they're like, we're just going to stick with the original shit?
Or maybe they're just money whores and they're like,
Yeah.
everyone likes the Ewoks and everything.
Yeah,
Put
yeah.
them out there, you know? So people are reading a little too deep into it, too, I would argue.
Yeah.
And maybe it's one of those things, too, where maybe the younger generation who that new trilogy's hitting for, maybe they want them to age a little bit, get endeared. And I don't know.
Well, it's funny that VR game is all based on that timeline.
Me and you talked. I think the Mandalorian is going to have bigger ties to the newer trilogy than we realize. That's what me and you talked about.
Yeah.
They're working towards something there.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
They're
It's
not
gonna-
just going to ignore the newer trilogy.
Yeah, it's coming.
But what the animated show is coming. What are you going to say, Bill?
I'm sorry, I was going to ask, are they spinning any shows off of the Mandalorian?
Yes.
Like for
Ahsoka,
example,
Tano.
is
Ahsoka Tano is number one. The
What?
Jedi that was in that one, the two blades.
oh no, okay. I was thinking they'd do something either with Gina Carano's character, the Marshall Dune, or
Well, there's going to be a New Republic show. Rangers of the New Republic, and we don't know if she's going to be part of that or not. She might be because she's a Republic marshal now or whatever she is. So she might be part of that one. A lot of the details on the shows aren't there, but there's going to be a Lando Calrissian show, and I hope they get Donald Glover to play
he's
him.
good. Yeah,
Then there's going to be, of course, the Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
there's got to be some stinkers in here.
Yeah, there's
I
no way
love
they all could be good,
Mandalorian,
right?
but like, you think about like Netflix had all those Marvel shows, and
Yeah,
it was like Luke Cage is
And-
okay. I
Yeah,
don't
Daredevil's
know.
good. And the other three were kind of
Yeah.
like, Punisher was good. I like that one. But the other three were like, yeah.
But
So there's
you
no
know
way
the
they're all
sad
gonna
part
be
is
good.
I'm gonna watch them all because I'm an idiot.
A droid story that's gonna be an animated droid story by. It's supposed to be comedy based, I think. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Of
I gotta
course,
tell you,
we're
when you
just-
talked about midweek, I'm probably gonna jump out of Disney Plus for a while, especially once the Mandalorian wraps up for this season.
Bill agrees.
I'm gonna watch Soul and the Mandalorian. I'm gonna jump out for a little bit. I think.
Yeah, because in January the Marvel stuff hits and you don't care about
Not
that.
my thing.
WandaVision's coming on, and then I think March or February comes Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So there's a lot of Marvel shows coming too. The Loki has a Loki show that's supposed to come later in the
The
spring.
Loki show.
I don't know what the name is. It's just called Loki, I think it is. And there's
Do they
hints
have
that
it-
they're going to bring Black Widow back from the death in the trailer of that one. What?
Sorry, do they have an estimate for season 3 of Mandalorian?
Next year.
Yeah, probably
next
year,
fall.
Yeah.
Next fall.
It seems to be always the case. Yeah.
So everyone's canceling till next fall.
I mean, I don't. For me, there's just not. I could rewatch the original trilogy and stuff like that, but like, I'd rather watch them on my own stuff that I have now. I don't know. It's just.
And of course, Charles, with all this new stuff, we knew it was coming. A price hike is coming with this.
Yeah.
Allegedly only $1 right now.
As of right now.
I don't. Yeah. So of course, the price that Bill just jerked off to it. He's like, screw them. Fuck you. Fuck me.
Death by 1,000 cuts, man.
Yeah.
It's
So
crazy.
that's the first price hike for them.
And I think that we're due for one. We talked about it last week, the HBO Max stuff. A lot of directors came out and slammed HBO or Warner Brothers for doing the HBO Max
they
stuff.
Are pissed. They hurt their pocketbooks.
They must have been
not
a
just
bunch
directors,
of back end
it was writers,
stuff,
it was actors. Everyone's pissed. At
I got news for all those actors that are pissed off. Then don't be here. We'll find someone else.
Yeah,
because that's the future, man.
Yeah.
You can be as pissed as you want. Shit's changing.
Now, one thing about those announcements, they didn't announce any of those, like the Eternals and Indiana Jones. They didn't say if they'd be available on Disney Plus day and date either, did they?
They might try to push their premium stuff. They might Mulan some of that stuff, I think.
I think they still want that
possible.
theater money, and they're waiting to see if they get that theater money, especially with Black Widow and May.
If AMC falls apart in January, what you know what I mean? Like, what is it? We already said one of the Regal or some of a major theater chains already shuttered. Another, if AMC is huge, if AMC can't survive this, I know me and you talk shit to each other about it, but that's brutal. If AMC falls apart, my lord!
Then I feel Disney will shift to Disney Plus.
What do you do at that point?
Now, the good news about all those announcements, stocks went up $21.
Well, yeah.
So Big Steve got some big savings from that Disney stock.
We talk about it all the time about how their subscriber base is way bigger than projections and all that stuff. So it sounds very successful. What does the future look like? Well, it's a wait and see. We can all guess. I think it's a theaterless future. Steve doesn't want to agree with me on that as much as he's inevitable.
I know. I fought bust your balls, but I know it's coming. But I'm hoping not.
The stuff at home is just, I don't know. It's just so easy. I can't. It's pure just laziness and ease is why, do I want to be able to go out and buy a CD? Yeah, that shit doesn't exist anymore. I mean, there's no, it's just the world changes, man.
So that'll wrap us up on the news. And Charles, you had a rant?
Just my rant, and we talked about it earlier. So, and again, I'm assuming it's because they want to create drama. But like, if I brought Steve in and I was like, "Hey, draw me a cool picture, and here's your parameters for that picture," how long does that usually take you? 2 days, maybe a few hours. And I said, "Okay, you got 45 minutes."
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
What is the point of doing so? Like a perfect example of that is, my daughter loves this show, Halloween Wars, Holiday Wars, all this kind of stuff, where they do a big sculpture as a team where they'll have cake, sugar sculptures.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
These enormous things, they literally give them 2 hours to do these enormous displays, and then they break their balls when it's like, it's a little sloppier.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you gave me no time.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I've bitched about this since I started watching with Michelle. It drives me nuts.
Because I'd like to see, you bring in some of the best decorators in the world. So, like, give them time to show me what they could do. They even show you, like, on all these shows, like the Sugar High and the war shows, like, how they cast them and, like, their portfolios of people. And you're like, this stuff's awesome looking. But it probably took him 4 hours. You gave him 2.
Yeah.
And then you want to break their balls. Like, again, Forged in Fire is a perfect example. I'd love for them to make a Spartan sword or do something crazy and cool, but give them why so little? And it must be a television thing to kind of ratchet up the tension or do something, but just always annoys the shit out of me. I don't know how to explain it.
It started me with the cake competitions Michelle used to watch, and they're like, they want this elaborate cake of R2-D2, but you got 45 minutes to do it.
It's like, what?
It's like, what the fuck?
And it's one of the most maddening things. I guess
it adds drama and tension to the show.
But like,
you
bring on the best cake decorator, or you bring on the best, I don't know, like car renovator or car, like what, like, give them the time to show me something really cool. Like, why is that so wrong?
If you saw an old episode of Bob Ross, someone stood over his shoulder. You got 10 minutes, asshole.
Dude, For real.
Make your happy trees fast.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck? Bob Ross is over there just like throwing trees up. It's like, what the hell?
I
Like,
think Bob Ross could have handled it, though.
He thinks like he'd have been straight cool during it.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
like,
cool. Let me just meditate on this for a minute. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just, and I get it. Like you said, it's probably a tension thing. It's probably to add drama. But I guess I come to a lot of reality shows in a different spec, maybe. Like, I think of them different. Like, I'd like to see something really cool. Well, okay, well, you don't get that time here. And then the judges have the nerve, like I said, to come over and, like, break their balls. Like, it could have been a little cleaner here.
Yeah,
and it's like, well...
Motherfucker, you can't build up Raven from fucking That's So Raven. Or she
Yeah.
hosts one of those.
Yeah, the Holiday Wars.
Yeah. But she doesn't criticize, but the assholes with her would be like, well, you're showing your
Shinlin
seam
Me
down
or
this
whatever her
guy's,
name is. Yeah, walks over. And it's like, dude, of course it looks like shit. You gave me no time.
Yeah, give me 25 minutes. And then you froze me because of some weird rule, or that's the other one too.
Yeah.
If your competitor hits the button, you can't work for 10
But
minutes.
that's why I guess, like, like it nailed it. You know, you're trying for a train wreck. Half the show is funny because it's a train wreck.
Yeah,
so, like,
yeah.
okay, but like again. You bring on the world's best cake sculptor and you don't give him any time. Like, what is the point? I don't understand.
Or even the cooking competition where, like, Gordon Ramsay, like, you've got 10 minutes to make a souffle. You know you're going to get garbage. You got to eat that. Why won't you give him longer?
And then you break their balls. Like, this tastes like shit. Well, yeah.
You gave me
It's
10
so
minutes.
weird. And like I said, Forged in Fire is one of those ones I watch all the time. I love that show. One of those weird things that, like, I respect the danger of forging and all that kind of, like, forging metal is super dangerous. And like, but then the Ben Abbott guy sitting there and he's like, well, what you got to do? And it's like, okay, you gave me a pile of car parts, told me to build a lightsaber out of it or a saber out of it. It's like, what? I mean, what? This is so crazy. Drives me up a wall.
Bill, any thoughts on any of that?
I depends on what it is. Like, you're talking about these, sculptors and these great cake decorators. When it's purely showing off some sort of, artistic, masterpiece, then yeah, I think they need to have enough time to do it, because otherwise it's just throwing together half-assed to try to turn it into a train wreck. I do think that some of the regular cooking shows where you have people that are kind of, obscure people that are, I don't know, they're just competing, whatever, that the time element makes it more compelling. So I think I don't have a problem with time with all of them, but certain ones just don't seem to make any sense to me. I think kind of along the line of what Charles has been saying about particularly the sculpting, the cakes,
Yeah, we brought out, like, and they'll show you the shit. Look at this person made a full 6 foot tall zombie before, and it looked real. Like, and then, like, we didn't have that time, and like half the icing's falling off. It's like, what the fuck? I mean, of course it looks like
The only
shit.
show that seems to give them enough time is Lego Masters.
Yeah.
They seem to have enough time to build
No,
stuff.
they're just scrambling at the end, but I think
That's
is-
usually the shittier people.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that there's a balancing act between, like, you got to have some kind of time limit. You don't want someone to sit there all day, but, like, I don't know, man. It just frustrates the shit out of me every time I watch these shows because I just go mental. Like, they're building a whole diorama in, like, 2 hours. Like, yeah, I mean, what do you want them to do?
I'm going to build Castle Grayskull out of cake
So
in 32 minutes.
yeah, we give you 8 minutes. What the fuck?
And then we're going to pause you halfway through it.
So,
Because
yeah.
it's a penalty because your competitor won.
Freeze. Like, what the
Yeah, so stupid.
Yeah, it's frustrating to me. I don't know. And then one of the other shows I hate too is that people love is this Chop show. You give these assholes bacon, salmon, and
Gummy
like
bears.
yeah, and then gummy bears, and then I gotta watch this pompadour asshole describe to me what it tastes like. It's the most. I don't know why anyone watches Chopped. It makes me mental because you would know. It's not like when someone describes to you a crazy steak and you're like, oh man, steak, yeah, I know the taste. What? How the fuck am I supposed to know what gummy bears and bacon taste like together? This guy can never describe
My
to
problem
me.
with Chopped is they got these guys so under the gun and they're running everywhere. They're just dripping sweat all over everything they're cooking.
Pouring.
I was like, I don't want to eat that motherfucker's food.
Why is it so salty? It's sweat.
No, you don't know. Chopp's the worst. They're always pouring sweat on
It's
you.
so gross.
It's like, Guys' grocery game is pretty close too. They get pretty sweaty on that show. I always watch it. Like, let's sweaty that motherfuckers. I don't know.
Dude, it's just like it's so dumb. Like, oh, you only get the juice from a jar of capers. Like, what? What is that?
You get a dragon fruit and lamb chops.
It's like, how the fuck am I supposed to know what that tastes like?
Yeah, it's so stupid.
I have no idea what
And
I'm
if I'm a
watching.
judge, do I want to eat that? I don't want to eat the gummy bears and bacon. All right, what the fuck?
So dumb, man.
And then the judge would, now I taste the bacon. I don't really taste the
I'm
gummy bear.
losing the gummy bear.
Yeah, I'm losing the gummy bear in
They've
your
got
parade.
the douchiest judges.
I think that's
Oh yeah, the judge is the worst.
But that's part of the charm of a good one of those shows, though, is you need someone who takes this shit super serious. You're
Yeah,
like,
that is
you
true.
really just ate like a gummy bears and bacon. We're like, okay, what I noticed is the glucose on this. Like, wait,
And
what?
they'll give him pointers. Now, if you were to use powdered sugar with your gummy bears and then put it on the
Cold,
bacon,
You're missing the acidity if you would have added some acidity.
yeah,
on the back
I
end.
always hate that texture and acidity.
Yeah.
It would have gave it that crunch,
In
that
the 6
texture.
minutes I gave you.
Those shows make me mental.
Yeah, so I like how you incorporated the sweet tarts into the liverwurst, but I didn't really get the hint of nougat that I was looking for.
I
I'm not sure
think
that
you need that, though. I really do. I think you need someone who's taking that shit way too
There was
over the
one
top.
with
and serious.
champagne, and they buzz it. I'm not getting the champagne flavor.
Like, what
The
was
worst
First
is
off,
that
champagne's disgusting.
that I presume, I don't know, Indian Pakistani lady.
Yeah, I know who you're
Artie,
talking
I
about.
yeah.
can't
I
remember her
heard
name.
of
That
Artie,
guy,
yeah.
I can't remember his last name. It's Scott, somebody, the dude with the beard that's
Yeah, he's got the hair.
The pompadour
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, that guy's the
and
ultimate
he's
douche.
super douchey, and it's sort of like, well, does he do anything but judge shows?
No,
fucking hate it.
he doesn't even have a restaurant. He just shows up and judges shit.
I need a 7-course meal. You have 8 minutes to cook it.
Yes.
And we're only
yeah.
giving you stuff out at a gas station.
Yes, you got to use gas station.
What is this?
Gas station sushi, liverwurst and sweet tarts.
It's so
And then on
stupid.
top of it, too, they don't, because those where they go round by round, right?
Yeah,
Why is it when they get to the final round, now they have to look back to the entire fucking show? And it's like,
Yeah.
well, you were good enough to get past that round, but now we're going to point at that as to why we're not picking you at the
Yeah,
end. Why don't you
it's
just
so
whoever makes the
crazy.
best freaking dessert wins?
yeah, no,
I don't know.
because there wasn't enough champagne in the souffle.
I didn't taste it. I didn't get the champagne notes that I was looking
If
for.
I'm the chef, you should be glad champagne sucks. As I'm standing there dripping sweat all over everything. Oh man, that's funny.
Well, I only taste the champagne in the salad. I'd like you to incorporate it more into the main course.
I'm missing it. I'm not finding it into
Yeah, that's
your
right, yeah.
cheese
I get-
souffle. I'm losing the
I
champagne.
get a little hint of it in the sauce, but there's not enough of it that I can taste it when I take bites. And so I have to
so
search for
weird, dude.
Your
Yeah,
puree with these ham nuts are just not.
so weird.
These pig
Yeah, we
balls do
gave
not
you
come through.
one pig bone and a thing of sweet tarts and 8 minutes to make something. And then wait, we're gonna describe it.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we talking
If I'm a
about?
judge, I'm like, do I gotta eat that? Why are we picking this?
They're just running.
Just tripping. This guy's sweating on ham hocks and sweet tarts,
And
and
then I
gotta
need
eat
you to
this?
sculpt the bone
They'll
into
bitch 'cause
something.
It's
Like,
undercooked.
yeah.
What?
It's like they'll bitch 'cause, like, that meat takes longer than 20 minutes to cook, ass fuck.
And they're all that way. Like I said, one of my favorite shows on the planet, British Baking Show. I need you to scratch make brownies in 8 minutes. Like what?
So funny. So
I'll have to go
stupid.
bake cheesecake box and shit.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap us up for this week before football starts. So, of course, we don't know what time next week. Could be 10 a.m., could be 10 p.m. Who knows? Just take your pick. We'll figure it out during the week. Anything else you guys want to add?
No,
All right, you can catch us on Apple
We got
iTunes,
8 minutes to
Google
finish
Play.
the whole show. Go.
Fat Guys on littlepodcast.com and anywhere you can get podcasts. Of course, until next week, this is Steve.
And Charles.
Check you next time.